Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Glad you could all be here. I'm going to say hello to everyone in just a sec, but I want to make sure that this doesn't echo for a sec. I just got the notification I'm live. Yay.
I did too.
Okay. Yep, I just had to mute it. Okay. Let me get up here so I can say hello to y'all if it'll work for me. Hello, Christina. Hi, Turtle, the fam. And Miss Tui is here. Queen Laura. How are you, sis? Mystic. Jenny, love you, sis. Bama, thank you so much, Jen, for becoming a member. Miss Taro and T. Hello, Mary Ann, Debbie, Bama, Gary. My voice is going in and out. I apologize. I do have sinus issues right now. Hey,
Patrick.
Beacon, Tippa, Melissa. Hi,
Oh,
sis.
the bearded one is on here.
The bearded one. Where's Patrick?
He just popped up.
Ah, hello, Patrick. There he
AD.
is.
Debbie.
Hi, Vodka. Hi, Laura W. Hi, AD. Okay, I think I said hello to everyone. If I didn't say hello to you, please say, hey, you didn't say hi to me. We are going to be bringing up a guest here in just a sec, but I
Hey,
do
you
want
didn't say hi to me.
who?
Hey, you didn't say hi to me.
Oh, hi, Twinkie.
Hi, Twinkie.
I said hi to you before the stream. I should have said hello after when it started.
Yes.
Ah, okay, till I started talking in full force, my voice wasn't doing this. But
Hi, Connie.
hi, Connie. Connie's here, Layne.
Hi, Connie. Hi, everybody.
Connie,
Uh,
I don't know you, but I heard a lot about you.
yes, Connie is an awesome lady. Layne adores her.
She's like my second mama or third mama because I got like
You got
Baker's
like
like
a
my
hundred
second mama.
mamas,
I
Layne.
know.
Gary.
All right, so we do have a very, very special guest tonight. Let me turn my camera on for just a sec. If I start looking like a Chinese movie, Twinkie, let me know. Um, we do have a very special guest tonight, and I'm so happy that she's finally on our channel. I have interviewed her before, but for Parapalooza. So I'm glad that she's on our channel now. So um,
Hi,
I
Patrick.
also want to make a quick announcement. All of you know Eddie and Jen. They are an amazing family. They have uh, four amazing children, and they are struggling big time right now. So there is a link down in the description of this video for a GoFundMe that I did set up um, because they will not ask for help themselves. So we're just going to kind of force our help on them and try to get them away from the home that they're living in into something a lot safer. So if y'all will check that link out, share it out. I've shared it all over social media. So would love it if y'all could share it out too. Hello, Shane. Hello, like father, like son. Still praying for you guys. Let's see. Patrick, how did work go this week? Oh, she absolutely loves you too, Connie. My voice is. Yes, they do need help desperately. So, um, the lady that we have coming up tonight, her name is Tui Snider. She is an author and a speaker, and she knows a lot. This is one of my favorite books, mainly because it's one of the ones that I have, and it is very well used. You can see that it is marked heavily. We use this a lot going investigating. Turn your clicker off. Um, and I was introduced to Eat by Debbie McWaters, and I appreciate her so much for that because she knows how much we love this kind of stuff. And Debbie's actually the one that gave us this book, so she gifted us this book, and now we know Tui, and we're excited that she's going to be up here to talk to y'all tonight. So she has a lot of things to say tonight. So please share this out, hit that like button, and I hope y'all enjoy. We are not going to have a panel right now. As soon as the interview takes about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. So we'll bring up some more people on the panel when that's over. Just because we have some slides that we're going to show as well. So that wasn't a clicker. Jared tooted. Well, Jared, quit tooting. I need a voice. I'm glad I'm not going to have to talk a whole lot tonight. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get her up here. Let me. She'll be right here with us. But as I explained a second ago, she is an author, and she also has a website. So in the pinned comment up top, you can click that link and you can go over and check out her website. And you can also sign up for her weekly newsletter that comes out every Sunday. I took that and I went and signed up, and I got a little free download of one of her books. So definitely take advantage of that. So, okay, without further ado, here is Miss Tui. Hello, Tui.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Welcome
Good.
to my kitchen.
Oh,
I don't usually. My husband, he's like you. He's having sinus troubles right now, and so
Yeah.
he's sort of. Well, he took over where I would normally be.
that's quite all right.
But I mean, I looked. Have you been to pollen.com? Because
Yes.
there's a map of Texas, and there's a big old. I was trying to figure out something, but I feel for you. You guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cruddy here in Texas if people don't know it.
It is pollen.
Anyone with allergies is struggling right now. So
I was like, well, I got some light in the kitchen because I mean, if I did my show this afternoon from a corner in the bedroom, well, anyway, he's up there watching a movie right now, feeling miserable and coughing. So it'd be like, and there's not much light up there, and so I was like, well, I don't have a lot of light elsewhere. Anyway, blah blah blah. Here I am.
well, we're glad you're here no matter where you're at in your house.
Yeah,
So.
rather be here. I'd rather not be talking to you guys than doing dishes.
That's very true. That's me anytime. I'd rather be doing anything but dishes.
Oh yeah.
Hello, Sean. So guys, we're gonna be discussing a few things here. We have some slides that we want to show, and let Tui discuss some of the things that she wanted to discuss, and then we'll do the questions kind of at the end of it. If you have any questions, just save them up, and we'll let you know when to ask. But if you have a question pertaining to a certain slide or something that Tui says, then you can put it in all caps and we'll try to get to it. I just don't want to interrupt a lot. So,
and you can always interrupt me. I don't get offended because I talk like a runaway train. So it really does not offend me if you interrupt me. Sometimes that's the only way. And then the other thing is if someone wants to email me later, like maybe they think they have a question later, I'm always happy. I really do enjoy, hearing from people. So
she does. So the link is up there, and Tui's link to her channel is down in the description. So make sure you check that out as well, because she is full of knowledge and she interviews a lot of amazing people. So keep check for that. Hi, JoJo. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Christina. Okay, so tonight we're going to be kind of discussing the cemetery symbolism. Aw.
I know she's upset. Like, what are you doing in the kitchen?
And you have a lot of you have a couple of books out about the symbols and stuff in cemeteries and things. Do you want to discuss a few of those books?
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
This is some of her books here, guys. Some of them.
So like that pink one there that says the meaning of hands, historic cemeteries. That's the one I give as sort of like a free thank you to people when they sign up for my Sunday newsletter. And, if you only want the book and you really don't want to be on my newsletter, you can always unsubscribe. But that's like how I lure you in. And every Sunday, every Sunday I try to send I send a newsletter, and I include like a little cemetery history tidbit or a photo or something. And I try to interesting links. Like I gave this show a shout out this week, and I keep them brief, but interesting, and I try to keep you up on some fun stuff. But you can get that book as a thank you. And reason I made that one, it's just a short book. I didn't want to overwhelm people. It's just like, if you're thinking, maybe I would like to learn more about cemetery symbols, but you're not sure, hands are a great place to start. That's how I got my husband into it, because I mean, look, we all have hands, right? And they're easy to recognize. It's not like some flower that's kind of obscure and can be shown a bunch of different ways. I sometimes have trouble identifying different flowers on some headstones, because artistic license can make it a little hard to tell. They wear down, but a hand is pretty straightforward. And all those hands you see, they mean something different. Like the Spock hand means something, and it's quite different than the handshake and all that. So that's just a fun place to start with cemetery symbols. And I would invite you to just go check out all you have to do to get it is just go to my website, and I think there's a link, and it says free book. And take it from there. So it should be fun. And then I don't know, what else did you, what was the question? Oh, it's talking about books. That's right.
Yes, your books. So what made you decide to write a book about the symbolisms or the symbols that you see in the cemeteries?
Oh, that's a good question. I have really liked cemeteries since I was a little kid. When I was 9 years old, this guy tried to kidnap my friend and I from a Girl Scout meeting that had been canceled, and we didn't know it. And the only reason we escaped from this creepo was that we were able to run through the historic cemetery, actually graveyard, right across the street from the church. And we knew our way through that graveyard because we played there all the time, and we would run through it. I mean, really, you should never run through a cemetery, but we were little kids, and back then, your parents just let you have free reign. Right. And that was one of our favorite places to play. And so, I just, ever since then, growing up, the cemetery, wherever I lived, was always sort of a place where my friends and I would meet up. We'd have picnics there. Sometimes I would go when I was a teenager and I was kind of in my, more like reclusive phase. I would just read in the cemetery because I wasn't going to run into anybody, And the whole reason I ended up writing the book was I was doing some research about this really cool grave over in Paris, Texas. Some of you might have seen it. It's called Jesus in Cowboy Boots. And I have an article about it on my website. If you want to see what it looks like, you could there's a place where you can enter a search term and just go Jesus Cowboy Boots. It's going to come up. And this man had commissioned over in Paris, Texas, he commissioned a really cool monument for himself. And it's a typical weeping angel. So it's kind of, you probably see him. If you start to spend a little time in historic cemeteries, you'll see someone like, leaning onto a cross, like an angel leaning onto a cross. But instead of being barefoot, like most angels, you will notice are barefoot. And that stands for, having their feet on the ground is kind of a symbol of humility and connection to the earth. But this guy has cowboy boots on. And so it's just been one of those things people love to speculate. Well, one of the things he has on his tomb is he also has an upside down torch. And I was just trying to find out some more about this guy. And I was in a forum. It was a history forum. And these people were saying that, oh, well, he was obviously an atheist because, that torch is upside down. And another one was like, maybe he worshipped, the Dark Lord or something. They were just going off. And then I met some people who said similar things. And I was like, that's not true. I already had learned that somewhere along the line that a torch is a Christian symbol. And it just means when it's upside down and it's still burning, it stands for eternal life because your soul's flame is still, burning in the afterlife. Or if it's upside down and it's burnt out, it just stands for death. And it's kind of a thing the Victorians really like to do. They like to turn things upside down. They're like, they would even do that on some of the mausoleum locks. When you put the key in, sometimes they would turn the locks upside down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is weird, but it doesn't mean anything nefarious or evil. It's their way of saying death is like the upside down, which kind of sounds like Stranger Things or, or if anyone's seen Nightmare Before Christmas, I think, or is that the one? They've got the upside down, like the Victorian people are living one area. And then when they go down into the underworld, it's kind of, things can be upside down there. Anyway, that's a similar thing. So anyway, I thought, what is wrong with you people? That is not true. And I just started to notice that there were a lot of weird I couldn't find, it was hard to find the meaning of symbols. And I thought, I have a bird book. I have a book about snakes. I have a book about flowers, guidebooks. Why isn't there a book for cemetery symbols? Because I'm out in cemeteries a lot.
Exactly.
I have a lot of I wish I could show you. I can't get over there with my headphones. I have just shelves of books about symbolism. And if anyone of you guys have books about symbols, they tend to be like, this big and like this thick. And like if you dropped it on your foot, you would break a toe. And you're like, how can I take this around with me? And they cover too much ground. They might have one chapter or a couple paragraphs about symbols in cemeteries, or it's sprinkled throughout. But it's not just a nice little field guide that you could tuck in your purse or bag or whatever it is you carry, and have when you're walking around to figure out. So I was like, well, geez, I guess I'm just going to write one. And so I was a little intimidated by it, but I gave it a whirl. And I keep learning. This isn't a topic where I'm like, okay, that's done. I know it.
Exactly.
It's just a continual. I have so many more. I really need to update that book now. It's been out about 4 years. I'm really toying with spiffing it up and updating it here soon, probably next year.
Right. And the one thing that really did catch my attention about this is because I have seen so many videos, and I'm guilty of it myself, passing by a headstone and saying, ooh, I don't know what that symbol means. And I will take a guess. So how annoying is it when you see that? I know it has to be, because when I go back and watch it, sometimes I'll be like, oh, why did I even say that? If I don't know what it means, I shouldn't say it at all. But how annoying is that? Well,
I speculate too. I just try to make it clear when I'm speculating. I'm like, well, maybe this means this. Like I have one in a video on my channel from Highgate Cemetery, and I kind of speculate about what the penguins symbolize on the grave, but I make it really clear that I'm speculating. What gets me is when people just claim off the bat that, oh, that pentagram on there instantly means this is one. I get emails all year long, but especially this time of year, people send me a picture of a pentagram, and they say, I have an article on my blog right now. I finally just wrote 2 articles because I think it was Monday morning. I got like 7 emails from people telling me either this is a witch's grave, link. Oh, have you seen? Hey, Tui, have you seen this witch's grave? And this other one, oh, this is obviously a witch, yada yada. And none of them were. The problem is, let's see. And don't get me wrong, I really love it when people send me things like, what does this symbol mean? Or have you been to this cemetery? And I can't blame people, because these witch graves, there's tons of stuff on the internet claiming that these are witches' graves. And one of them just kills me because it's over in Weatherford. And it's this man's grave. And at the top of it, this is it, at the top, if you look above the door, it even has his name and the birth date and death date clearly there. Hiram E. Swain. Says when he lived, was born, and when he died. And yet there is a pervasive rumor that's known as the witch's tomb. Yes. And I've talked to genealogists and historians over there. Reporters have put newspaper articles out every now and then trying to clear it. But that, once you get those witch grave rumors out there, it really, and I have scoured the historical records of Texas and newspapers and every resource I could find. Anybody who seemed to, sometimes librarians will let me in on some resource, trying to find, talking to old people too. It's one of my favorite things to do when I go to a town, is I talk to the oldest people I can find. A genuine case where someone went to trial for or was executed for witchcraft in Texas, 0. There's been none of them. Now, there have been cases with voodoo and magic spells and that's a whole other thing for another day. And I really want to get into that because I have a little file of, oh my God, this is a weird case and no one talks about it. It is true, right? But when you get to but spreading a falsehood like that, this fella here, Hiram Swain, he was a retired sea captain, and he moved to Weatherford, and he just became a very successful businessman. Unfortunately, his health declined, and he died rather suddenly. But before he did, he had built this opulent tomb. And you can't tell now, but see how there's sort of a road going down to it. There, he had wrought iron and silver chains, very ornate kind of row fence as you went down there. And a lot of dirt has filled up. This was even deeper, so there were even more cemetery symbols on the front of that tomb. And this was going to be the Swain family tomb for him, his wife, their kids. There was a lot of room in there. Well, he died a little bit young. His wife remarried, and so she's buried in the same cemetery, but in a different tomb with husband number 2. And so people just forgot about this. And so I think because no one was around to really keep anybody from making stuff up, this rumor took hold. And at least people aren't vandalizing this tomb. I mean, it's just a bad rumor, but I wonder, like, man, if we could talk to Hiram right now, what does he think? Like, I'm sure he would be appalled if he knew that people thought.
We've actually went to this place under the impression that it was a witch's grave.
Oh, yeah, everyone says that.
Yes, the thing was, we didn't get any female things. We got male. It was male EVPs. We also caught a male standing next to a tombstone.
Oh.
That Twinkie, which is Entity Paranormal Investigator, she caught in the video. So it was very odd that we didn't get anything from a female or anything that had to do with a witch. I am going to go back and watch that video just to kind of see if some things that we got maybe had to do with the sea captain or something, because that would be very interesting.
Yeah, and so I think he's buried there. I think he and his wife had a child who died very young, which is, super common 100 years ago. Kids a lot of times didn't make it to 5. Yeah. So I think he's buried there along with an infant daughter, if I remember correctly. And she's not listed, like engraved on there. And this was before, obviously, he was buried. But yeah, I mean, maybe you're picking up a little bit of Hiram. He's probably just going, what on earth? What's the paranormal?
Why are you asking if I'm a witch?
I know. And, okay, so here's kind of a clue if you're wondering if something's true. If you're finding really stories that don't jibe, because there are about 5 different versions of this witch tomb. So when things just aren't stacking up at all, you should be like, maybe this is a little odd. What gets me about this particular one is it's even listed in like some, it's listed as a witch tomb and some things that seem pretty legit, and that's frustrating. It's not that hard of one to uncover the truth about. Yeah. I mean, you have to do some digging, but this day and age, we're able to do a lot more digging than we could. If you lived in, if we were back in 1980, it was harder to find the truth, and you kind of can forgive us. So I do feel sorry. And like I said, this is a boy guy. I feel sorry for him that people think he's an atheist too. He was the guy who brought the opera to town. He had a really funny sense of humor. So maybe he gets a kick out of it. He might. This Hiram guy, I don't know. Who knows? You can't really say, but I just wonder, I feel sorry for these people because we people talk about respect for the dead all the time. Well, when you spread these rumors about witches, So there's another one that a lot of people tell me about, and it's down at Liberty Hill, and I bet some people have heard of that one. It's near Liberty Hill, Texas, and that's another alleged witch grave that's actually not at all. Elizabeth's supposedly buried there, and I don't think I have any pictures of it, but you can find what the cemetery looks like on Find Grave, and this one I really feel sorry for them. Okay, so there was a family who was doing a lot of genealogy, and they discovered this historic family cemetery. Their relatives, wow, isn't this neat? And other people too related to them. They were early settlers in Texas, and they're like, cool, they clean up the cemetery, and they've been maintaining this little cemetery since 1980 or something like that. It's been a while. Well, for some reason, this one grave there has just been targeted like crazy. Like there is it's not that fancy of a grave, but all that's left, it's been chipped down. Just people come, they take little chips off of it, they carve X's on it, like on Madame Laveau's tomb. They leave all sorts of weird garbage all around it, like some of it's like grave goods, toys, and pennies. People do leave things like that, but they find like used condoms there and stuff. Wow. It's pretty gross. It's pretty, and then some of this vandalism spills over to some of the other graves as well. Now, what I think happened here is just that her epitaph has a lot of misspellings on it. And it says the way it's written, it looks like, let me see if I can find it here. It's okay, because it's kind of weird. It says, and remember as yo are passing by, yo must die as well as I. And so people claim that that is a type of curse. That if when you walk by, that's a curse. But that's crazy, because if you spend any time in historic cemeteries, you see a lot of variations of this, like as am I, so will you someday be. And that's just a common epitaph. It's not a curse. It's kind of gets back to the whole, just remember you're going to die. You will even see that on some early headstones. But unfortunately, this poor family, that particular grave has just had really terrible this rumor has sprouted. They can't seem to make the rumor go away, and people just show up, and they've done stuff there. They've made it harder, like a locked gate and this or that. But there are books that write about that. I mean, I think it's been on some pretty big websites. I don't want to say the names, but it's been put out there on some pretty big like news sources before as a real witch's grave. And I just go, because the real Elizabeth Stinson, get this. So they say that she was a slave who was a witch, and once they caught her, they tried her for witchcraft, they hung her, and then they buried her there. Okay, why would they bury her in a nice cemetery with the heads, whatever? I mean, but as I said before, I have not found any record of witch trials in Texas or executions for being a witch. And get it, according to her relatives, her actual relatives, she was just a white lady who came from Louisiana with a group of settlers, and she just died from disease at the age of 30. So her story is actually very typical of a lot of settlers. She had a rough time and died. Not a witch. Where are you people coming from? So yeah, and what gets me is that one's really led to a lot of vandalism. At least the witchcraft one, the witch one in Weatherford, I haven't seen vandalism, but it's still, a bummer.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think that one is very well protected, because when we were there, we did have what looked like security driving by. So I'm not sure if they actually have security or not, but so that may be why there's not as much damage to that one.
The one in Weatherford?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I think this one's just weather beaten, and people just, I don't know. Thankfully, they don't feel the urge to desecrate it like they do that other one. I feel really sorry for that family. I mean, here we are. Oh, here's a little piece of our family history, this cemetery. We're going to take care of it. And then like, what happened? I mean, it must be a little horrific to come. And I mean, it's just been hacked. People have chiseled away. There's just hardly anything left of her grave. It's so sad.
That is
so
sad.
Yeah.
Hi, Dustin. Hi, buddy. So I did catch your show earlier. I was able to watch it or listen to it while I was working. And I did, when you brought up the fact of, let's see, this deal right here.
Oh, yes.
Help, is grandma a devil worshiper? So I'll let you explain this right here.
Yeah, this is a kind of a typical email I get a few times a year, and especially this time of year. Someone will decide to look into their family history and visit a grave, and they will see an upside down pentagram on the headstone. And sometimes the headstone, inside the rays of the star, it will say fatal. It sounds pretty dire, right? What's going on? But this one I really love. So it actually stands for fatal. Let's start there. That stands for fairest among 10,000, altogether lovely. And this is actually a Christian, the symbol has references to Christianity. And all it means is that the deceased was a member of the Order of the Eastern Star. And that is the female branch for the Masons. And then each of those symbols that you see inside the star, those are symbols too. And each of them stands for a different heroine from the Bible. So like Ada and Ruth and Esther, the women in the Bible, and they each stand for a different role that a woman will play. Like you're a daughter, and then you're a wife, and then you're a mother, and you're a widow. So it has it's all refers to biblical teachings. Nothing nefarious about it. And in fact, and I didn't mention this in my article, but a woman commented on it and said she'd been a member of the Order of the Eastern Star for 50 years. And that the reason the star is upside down, which always freaks people out, it's upside down, is because that represents them pointing the way to the east. It's like the star pointing to the east. And then again, it's kind of like heaven to earth too, as well. But I think like I say, I kind of blame Hollywood for this one, because we've all seen movies, and I love a good scary movie, and I'll be sitting there, eating my popcorn, coming back, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's a pentagram on the wall, there's a crime scene. Oh, okay, there's going to be Satan and devil worshiping next. Bring on this story. I'm fine for that. Just don't pretend it's real. I've seen videos where they claim this. Debbie pointed a video out to me, and I was just like, oh no, this person saw this exact pentagram that you see there on the left, and that's from the Order of the Eastern Star. And the Eastern Star refers to the Star of Bethlehem that was shown in the east, and it told the 3 wise men where to go. Hey, Jesus is here. I mean, nothing witchy about that. Pardon me. So yeah, it's very misunderstood. Now, the one on the right, if you see that one on a gravestone, and you might, that stands for a Wiccan, and that which is a type of witch, right?
Yes.
Nothing scary, but and I'm not an expert on Wicca. Don't get me wrong. I don't claim to be. But what's neat about this is that particular emblem appears on United States military markers that the Veterans Administration will give out if you happen to be Wiccan. And they used to, for the longest time, if you were served in our military here in America, and then you qualified for a headstone, you have to, there's a few things. You have to be honorably discharged, etc. You could choose from the Latin cross for Christianity, or the Star of David if you're Jewish. That was it. Well, they really branched out from there. I have a link in my article. You can see they call them emblems of belief. And there are so many now. Wiccan is one of them. And they've had that since 2007. I haven't seen one on a military headstone. I would love to. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would.
But that would be a real witch's grave right there, if you ever saw that.
Okay, so
I feel like I've been talking like crazy.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. We're enjoying this. We love hearing. I love hearing you talk, and I know everyone in the chat is going to enjoy it as well.
Also,
so this was a symbol you sent that one of your friends actually got a tattoo of.
Yeah.
Yes. So you want to explain this one?
Okay, this is one of my favorite symbols anyway. And my friend David and Haben, who is an EMT, and he gives talks about cemetery symbols too. He lives up in Idaho, and we kind of connected on the internet. We haven't never met in person, but we send each other interesting symbols all the time. Anyway, I was asking people what their favorite symbol was, and he sent this. It's a winged hourglass, and it's one of my favorite symbols too. You don't see it as often in Texas as you do, but when I'm in older cemeteries in Europe, you will see it. And it stands for, well, you can kind of guess, time flies. That's why I love it. It's a bit of a pun. Yes. And it's just telling you, make the most of your life while you're here. I just love that. And his tattoo came out really nice. Yeah. So I joked, I was like, I hope that's your arm.
Yes, definitely.
Oh my. But yeah, I think that is really neat. And so I usually at the end of my show, I'll say everybody, hey, time flies, and I'll show this symbol and tell them like, hey, ask your questions now. But it is a neat one. And there's a lot of varieties of this, a lot of the winged hourglass, but it is one of my favorite cemetery symbols. So
you have, as we've discussed before, you have many, many, many books. And I know this is about cemetery symbols, and stuff like that. But out of all of your books, which one was your favorite to research and to ride?
Oh, that's a hard one to say. I really like the one. I've got that one there, 6 Feet Under Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And that one, it's less about the symbols, although I talk a little bit about the symbols, but it's a travel guide to specific graves in Texas, and including the witch tomb, and telling the true story, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got some really interesting stories in there. One of them, I guess one of the reasons it's a favorite of mine is that there was, okay, get this. See, like I say, I like strange but true, but I want to make sure you got the but true on there. Don't just make something up, right? So I did a lot of research, and over in Corsicana, there is a grave that just says Rope Walker. And in 1884, a one-legged tightrope walker,
Wow.
what, came to town. And he came to town because he was selling wood stoves, like, cast iron stoves.
Mm-hmm.
So he strung a line between the 2 tallest buildings in downtown Corsicana, and he put a stove on his back. He's got one leg, mind you. He climbs up and starts walking across that rope. It breaks.
Oh,
And he falls, and before he can die, he manages to tell them that he's Jewish. They don't get anything more out of him before he dies. So that's why it just said Rope Walker on there. Well, I did a bunch of research, and I was able to figure out his real name. So that was a lot of fun. I just love that. It was just the craziest. I was like, I started scouring records, like how many one-legged tightrope walkers could there be?
exactly.
And it turned out he'd fallen another time. And he lived that time. Oh my God, the guy was crazy. He broke both his wrists, and and they were talking about. So yeah, that was one of my favorite ones. I really did enjoy doing that one. And then I've got a book coming up that I'm having a blast researching, because it's I think people on your channel might enjoy it. It's a scavenger hunt, and it's just, you go around, and it's meant to lead you. Like, it's a spiral bound book, and it has like 300 clues in there, and it'll take you to little things that are hidden in plain sight. Like, you might walk right by a historic marker or some weird architectural detail, or, I'll give you some fact about a sculpture, and it's all in Dallas. And so I'm having a lot of fun with that, because each clue is just a little picture, but maybe just a close up of something, and then a little poem, like a 4-line poem, and you have to figure it out. I just love how it's a riddle. And I think I like, a big reason I write my books is I like to give people a chance to, unplug from Facebook and everything for a little bit, and then just go out. And, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You and your friend can, cemeteries are free, but other places too, you can go out and explore and have a little bit of an adventure on your own with your family or your close friends. And so it's a big reason that I write my books, is I want people to just sort of get out and have some adventures of their own. So that's kind of even when I'm trying to just write a straight history book, I always end up adding little travel bits in there, because I think, well, maybe people will want to go check it out for themselves someday.
And honestly, even if you're not in Texas, a lot of your books are based around the Texas area, but the symbolisms and stuff like that, those are going to help you anywhere. But if you are in Texas, or even not, these are very interesting to read. But we take this everywhere we go, just so whatever town we're in, we can look up, because she does have it broke up into the towns.
I try to make them useful,
It's very easy to go through. You can see that I've got so many pages marked.
Oh, that is neat.
To go to. But our videos from the alien grave, from the serial killer grave, all those we found because of this book.
Oh, that's great.
So we have gotten a lot of videos, and a lot of the places that we've been to is because of this book. So it is good to look for books in your own town. Mm-hmm. Just type it in and look. Maybe you'll find something in your area as well.
And I was going to say too, it surprises me sometimes. I get, some of the people on my newsletter who write me back, I've got people like in Maine, Idaho. The very first fan mail I ever got was from a street magician in Paris who plays kind of a Dungeons and Dragons role-playing game about weird Texas. So he was using my book just to come up with weird characters and stuff. And so I was like, well, that's kind of cool. So yeah, I'm always amazed that, even though the books focus a lot on Texas, I'm always amazed when people are like, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll ever get there, but I took a little armchair tour. Especially the paranormal one, people seem to enjoy reading. But I mean, even the other ones, I'm a little bit surprised when people write me and then I write back and they're like, oh, I live in Massachusetts. I'm like, what? Well, you read it. But it is weird. I do look for really strange but true stuff. Like in that one you've got, there's an axe murderer who becomes a wedding, like a marriage counselor. I mean, that's weird. How does that happen?
And the one grave in here, that was another misconception too. I believe the Smiley's grave.
Oh yeah, that one really got me. People, and that's been on so many things. That's been on some pretty high profile websites who I don't want to name, and it's been in some books where I'm like, seriously, who fact checked you? I mean, I know sometimes I goof things up and I learn later, but come on, that was bad. And this one, especially when you're researching a headstone that has the name and the death date on it clearly. Okay, so Smiley's grave. You can go. I did not take that much scraping. I just looked that up in some newspaper archives, and guess what? On the night that Mr. Smiley and his entire family were wiped out, now the rumor, the fakey thing that you're going to come across everywhere so easily is that he was some sort of maniac who killed his entire family. And, well, that's not what happened. What happened was and I find this personally quite terrifying, there was a nighttime tornado that came through Garland, Texas in the middle of the night, and it wiped a lot of people out. And the Smiley family was wiped off the face of the planet. And people paint him as some sort of maniac, and it's not his fault. It's a very sad story. Like, I do feel sadness. Like, people talk about, oh, you feel overwhelming sadness when you're there. I'm like, well, I get that. Yeah. But there was no maniac.
Right.
It was just
I would definitely be sad if I was accused of killing my whole entire family.
Mm-hmm. They didn't have like Doppler radar and all that back then. And, it's eye-opening. And when people twist history like that, no excuse for that now. We've got access to things now. We should know better. And so when I read books where they've kept that lie up, I'm like, no, people, Mr. Smiley did not kill his family.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pet peeve, I guess. I just try to stand up for the underdog. I'm like, come on, he's dead, obviously, and if he did,
and that's understandable because we do preach to be respectful of the spirits and all that stuff. So finding out your information and researching before you go somewhere is definitely, and I'm guilty of it as well. So it's definitely something we're going to work on because I have read that stuff, and it is crazy. A lot of the things that people get wrong.
And there's a lady down in Galveston who I think poisoned all 4 of her children. That one's real. Now there's a real person to be like, but don't, I think people I try to help people like get the facts right. I think now we're at a point in time where people, the real facts, what gets me are when the news outlets just spew this, just reiterate these things. And come on, they should know a little better. And when some of these high profile books with pretty big publishers come out with this stuff, I'm like, really? I think they should do a little more digging. So
right. Exactly.
Librarians are your friend. Librarians, historians, they're your friend. If you have something in your town that's weird, just find a librarian or a historian or a genealogist, the local genealogy club, and they will help you find what's really up. They're usually kind of shy people. I'm making a big generalization here, but that's often the case. Not all loud like me, but they'll, they will steer you to the resources you need, and then you can kind of find out the truth.
Exactly. That's very good information there, because a lot of people don't realize that you can go to these places to get information.
And they're happy to tell you. Man, usually they're like, someone cares about the history? Oh my goodness. And they might talk your ear off. In fact, you might be like, okay, I got to go. But it's great.
A lot of times that's okay, because I love hearing about the history of a lot of these places. So definitely having a book to help guide you through definitely helps too, because your book gave the locations, and that was great. You also gave whether or not you needed permission to get into the places. You also gave the history of the places. So that that was definitely a huge help for us. Because
It
a lot
makes
of
me
times
so happy. Yeah.
you
I
find
hate it
places
when I
there's
read
nothing.
something. Yeah, there's no, this is my pet peeve. They'll be like, oh, this place is so haunted and all these great things, that you're just reading this like 3-page article. And then you get to the end and they're like, oh, well, no one can visit there anymore. I'm like,
Yeah.
why did you tell me about that?
Exactly.
There are a couple places that I know of that are quite haunted and everything, but guess what? I did not put them in my book because I don't want to taunt people that way.
Exactly.
I put one in there, I think, because people would have thought I was dumb if I didn't. It was the Baker Hotel.
Yes.
They don't like to be associated with hauntings and this or that. And I've had opportunities where I could have gotten a tour of it, but then they said, okay, if you come give a tour, you can write an article, but then you can't use the word ghost, haunted, spirit, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I don't know. But I mean, everyone knows about that. And there's employees on record. You can meet them and who will tell you tales of that. And
Yes.
so I felt like I did make it clear that you can't go in there, but you can still enjoy that building from the outside and maybe catch something. I've taken pictures laying on my stomach, sticking my camera through a broken window, taking a picture. I wasn't trespassing. I don't ever trespass, because then you ruin it for the rest of us. But I will get right up to something and press my face against, there's the sign, do not trespass. And I'm like, okay, I'll take a picture. That's about as far as I get. It makes me so happy that you've used my book. That was exactly when I was writing it. And when I write my books, I imagine some reader like going, wow, hey, this town here? Oh, that's, we're driving through there on our way to see Grandma next week. Maybe on the way home, we could stop by this cemetery that she's talking about, where the guy's had a phone line to his grave, or, whatever, other things. Or so,
it stays in our bag that we take with us when we go out to explore, because you never know what town you're going to end up in and what could actually be there. So it's definitely a great help.
Yeah, when I was at History, Haunts, and Legends in Jefferson once, this lady came up and she was all apologetic because she had a copy of my cemetery symbols book, and that thing was so beat up. I mean, costumes and it had post notes, a very highlighter pen. Like, I was like, wow, this thing's so beat up. I was saying, because I was so happy, and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Would you sign it? I'm like, yeah, man, you were what I have in mind. She drives for work. And so every time she's like, out and about, and she sees a cemetery sign, she turns in, and then she can look things up in the,
Right.
And she had things in the margin, like symbols that aren't in the book too, being, oh yeah, I'll include that in my second edition or whatever. So it was really, really neat. I think I like it when people are using the books. I don't want them just to sit on this shelf and be all pristine, they're meant to get out and have an adventure with you.
Exactly. So I know you have the scavenger hunt book coming up. Are there any other things in the works that you have?
Yeah, I did. Actually, I've got a road trip. I just took a road trip in August, and over on my Patreon, I'm sharing like a photo essay each week, every Wednesday there. The one that just came up was about Phantom Hill Cemetery. So I shared a lot of pictures while I was on the trip, but this goes into more detail about the history behind it, and then the weird, interesting history. So that's one thing I've got going. Let's see. Another one is I have been working on this book for a long time. I need to just release it. It's about the 1897 airship mysteries. They were the UFOs here. There was like a flap of a couple months where people were seeing hundreds of UFOs, and it's just so weird to me. And I just keep collecting information about that. I gave a talk at the International UFO Congress about it once, and I've given some talks about it. I have so much info about it, and I just need to get, got that going along. I just need to release it. Some things you kind of keep thinking, well, just a little more research. Well, that thing is just crazy. It's never going to be proven. So hopefully that one will come out next year. And yeah, I've always got about 3 or 4 books going at once. So it's sort of like whichever one makes it to the finish line first wins.
Comes out, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Now you do, for anyone that's interested, she does give talks and lectures and stuff about a lot of the different topics. What all do you discuss in your lectures? Like what topics?
Well, my most popular topic actually is understanding cemetery symbols, but I do give talks as well about the Santa Claus bank robber. That one is around Christmas, kind of popular, the Santa Claus bank robbery. That is a crazy tale. It's a crime, true crime. I discovered a mysterious blonde woman who's left out of the official record. People read it and they tell me it should be a movie. I just had a movie deal fall through with it that I had to be quiet about for a year. That was driving me nuts. So hopefully, who knows, that will be made into a movie one of these days. But people tell me it reminds them of like the Coen brothers or Quentin Tarantino. They're like, I know it was a crime, but I was laughing because the robbers are just they make so many mistakes. And I had so much fun doing research on that. I really kind of, even though they were bad boys, I ended up, they have a special place in my heart because I'm like, oh, you guys, please. It's a really crazy book.
That one has been catching my eye, so I may have to get that one and check that out because it definitely caught my eye whenever I seen it.
That's my husband's favorite one. But I do like to, and I haven't done this for a while, I like to give in-person cemetery tours. And I've done that a few times. That's so fun because it's like giving, instead of standing in front of everybody and going through a bunch of slides on PowerPoint, we walk through a cemetery together. I don't like to do it at night because I want you to see what's there and I don't want you to trip. I'm usually the only one who trips and falls when we do these because I'm excited and I'm like, people are like, catching me. But, you can just walk through the cemetery together and get it. It's so fun. The city of Austin hired me earlier this year to do a tour of about cemetery graves. I do link to it if you go to my playlist about my interview playlist. I recommend watching it because the production values are so much better than anything I could do. They did a good. This is the real thing. It's not just me wandering and doing my little videos. I had a blast doing it. They would just walk around. We spent 9 hours in the historic cemeteries down in Austin, and they just pointed a camera on me, and they would just point to different headstones and go, "Tell us about this one. Tell us about that one." And I just talked my head off for like 9 hours, and then they turned it into a 40-minute video.
Oh, wow!
But that was fun because that's my favorite way to do this is just to be out in a cemetery with people and talking and pointing, and we can all enjoy it together.
That's amazing. So
maybe have a picnic.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So do you focus more around the Dallas-Fort Worth area, or do you go a lot? Is it broader in Texas?
Well, anytime I travel, I'm checking out the cemeteries. My husband and I actually took a round the world cruise in 2019. And every stop we had, everyone knew, that I was in the cemeteries. I would check out the cemeteries, and that was fun. I got to see cemeteries at the very tip of South America, Argentina, all around. I saw it's interesting to see what's similar around the world because those Portuguese sailors made it around the world. They helped spread Christianity. You see a lot of the same things, but then you see the local culture and how it varies. Even in America, you see sort of different fashions in the cemetery.
Right.
Like here's an example. In America, when you go and look at a mausoleum, you can't usually just look in. It's just a building. You can't really see the coffins in there. In South America, they make it so you can see into the they want you to see the coffins, and they go there maybe once a month and will polish them, the wood up with like pledge or whatever, and they want you to see how spiffy, and they have really spiffy, they look very fancy, and they want visitors to come and see how beautiful the coffins are, like in their mausoleums. Another one, this one's really weird, in the South Pacific and the island of Rarotonga, they some of them will have bury their loved ones right in their front yard. So you'll see there's like a barbecue, and then there's like a big tomb. And they're like, yeah, we like to keep our ancestors close by. I was asking them, I'm like, wow, that's unusual. So wherever I am, I check them out. Some of my favorite cemeteries. There's some wonderful, amazing cemeteries in England. I have my stepdaughter lives in England, so I try to go over there once a year, and we usually try to hit up some of the amazing cemeteries there. They have these cemeteries called the Magnificent Seven. So you got London, and then you got this ring of cemeteries around it that are the Magnificent Seven, and they're all just amazing. So much statues, and it's really, and you see fox and all sorts of nature in there. It's really fun.
So I have one more question for you, and then I'm going to open up the questions to anyone in chat. So if you have a question, please put it in caps. We'll try to get as many as we can real quick. So you've been to many, many cemeteries. Do you have a favorite, and where?
I have a lot of favorites. One of my favorites is in San Juan, Puerto Rico, because I don't know where they got the marble for their statuary, but it's, a lot of people know salt water is really hard on things. It'll wear it down. Well, here you have this beautiful cemetery right by the ocean with trade winds coming, beaten with salt water, and some of the most incredible statues I've ever seen. Really beautiful, ornate statues. And then there's a little hill above you. And while you're walking around looking at all these statues, you can hear children playing up there, and they're flying kites because of the wind and everything. That one is one of my favorites. I should have sent you a picture of it. I love it. Gosh, I have a lot of favorites, but that's one usually comes to top of mind. It's really beautiful.
That's amazing. I definitely would love to go see some of the older cemeteries. I know we say here in America we have some old cemeteries, but you go to England and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it goes way back. So
oh yeah, I went to some Etruscan tombs that are, like ancient. They're UNESCO World Heritage, BC, like really, really old. And you have to climb underneath, and they're these weird tombs, kind of a tumulus thing, and you take little stairs and you go down in there, and then you light them up, and you can see these little paintings inside, and it was amazing. That was like the oldest ones I've ever been to, and they were pretty amazing.
That sounds amazing. Okay, Twiki, do you have any questions? I know you've been over in chat for
I'm just listening. I'm taking it all in.
It is a lot to take in, because you have a lot of knowledge about stuff like this, and it's amazing to listen to.
Well, I like to talk about it. As you couldn't tell, I don't, a lot of people in my life are not interested in this fact. Like my face-to-face life, I'm just used to, okay, whatever, not going to mention it to you. So when I know that someone's interested in it, it's kind of exciting. Like, oh, someone gives a hoot, wants to hear about this topic. Okay, you're not to start chatting.
See, my family has 7 family cemeteries, the private cemeteries.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of them have the symbols.
Ooh.
So I'm kind of interested to see. I want to get.
Oh yeah, definitely check it out. That's neat. I saw someone saying, "Ever hear about floating coffins of water?" I have, yeah. And that's a problem. The irony is when someone that buys a casket, that they will, the selling point, the salesman's going to say, "Hey, this one's airtight, watertight, yada yada yada." Well, the problem with that is that then if there's a flood, those caskets will pop up and become displaced, and then no one knows who's in it. But the poor people who couldn't afford the fancy airtight, watertight coffin, their coffin would have been made of wood and crunched, and when there's a flood, then they just decay and become part of Mother Nature. There's an irony there with you think about what you really want when you buy a casket. Yeah, that's the whole thing, the floating coffins. I mean, it's a sad thing. They really think about, why do you really need it airtight and watertight? That's a kind of an outdated belief. I think we somehow feel that there really isn't, because you're going to return to Earth, right? Your body and then your soul's going to go elsewhere.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's my thoughts.
Thank you, Marianne. She said, this is an awesome, interesting show. Look forward to buying some books from Tui Snider when I have a chance. Yes, you won't be disappointed.
You can go get my free one. That's for sure.
Definitely. There is a link pinned in the comments, guys. Take that link and go sign up for the website, because there's a lot of interesting stuff in the newsletter that she sends out every Sunday.
I try to keep it interesting, because, like I said, a lot of people in my life aren't too interested in this topic. So I'm like, hey, you guys are. So I see our
most butter buns.
I see Jenny McGinnis is saying, is most cemetery symbols good or bad? What's most interesting symbols? Yeah, I mean, they're good. I mean, it's a symbol. Here's the thing. My feelings about symbols. We use, I think we're not we don't use symbols as well as we used to. I think like 100 years ago, people could think symbolically better than they do now. Now we're very literal. Like we use emojis just to say, I'm happy, I'm sad. Yeah, that's a symbol, but it's very literal, you know? And so like when you, I think the best example of how a symbol can be powerful is I like to use the American flag. Because if I had a flag in my hand and you looked at it, you get all these feelings. Yeah, that's a flag, but it means America. It means our country. It means our home. And you are emotionally invested in it. And so then if I just, you know, ripped it in two or set it on fire, your body would react. You'd be like, what is wrong with her? You know, because the symbol is more than, it means so much. And so I think that in the old days, people could look at symbols, and I think my theory is that they were a little more invested in them emotionally than we are today. I think now so that's one reason I think it's kind of cool for us to get back to it, because I think it makes us think more poetically about life and symbols. So. Exactly.
That definitely a good way of putting that.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love the old symbols. I know the old ones are the best. I'm not as much a fan of the modern cemeteries that, you know, came about. I understand why they need to be the way they are. You know, when everything's flat and they can just run a lawnmower over it. That's not my favorite kind of cemetery. I like the old ones where there's old trees and there's old things grow. Yeah.
Me too.
Are the symbols in the same in the UK as they are in the USA? Yes, pretty much they are. In fact, I even I've had some emails from cemetery tour guides in the UK who tell me that my book has helped them give tours. And that means a lot to me. And the reason for that is that when European settlers came to America, we brought Christianity, which is where the bulk of our symbols came from, with us. The Puritans kind of had theirs. And yeah, so long story short, they came over with us. And from what I've seen from traveling around the world, wherever there's Christianity, which is kind of, you know, like the Portuguese sailors went around the world and landed, and then missionaries came shortly after. That's when you start to see a lot of, you know, the similar symbols. I thought they might be different all around the world. Yes, there are variants, but if you're in a Christian cemetery, you're going to see a lot of similar ones. If you're in a Jewish one, you're going to see similar ones. Anyway, I know that I can ramble a little too much. I'm trying to be concise.
You're fine. You're just fine. Hi, Barbara.
Oldest grave. Well, I think that would have to be that one, the UNESCO World Heritage Sites, the Etruscan tombs, ancient Etruscan tombs. Gosh, how old were they? I can't remember now. They were very old. I'm Googling it because ancient Etruscan tomb in Tarquinia. They were from, what were they from? 7th century BC. Yeah, that would have to be the oldest. I've seen some really cool ones in Europe that aren't that old, but are still quite old. Like in Venice, I've seen some really interesting old ones as well.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but probably the oldest. Yeah, I do. Long story short, yeah, I do.
Long story short, yeah.
And I have a friend, and apparently when I go, I have friends myself, and sometimes I've been really bad or lazy about it, and sometimes things come home with me, and you know, I'm much better about it now. It's sort of like, you should brush and floss your teeth, and sometimes you don't. For years, I would just sort of slack on that. But I have a psychic friend who one time, and this is what really got me, so now I always do something. I always cleanse myself after I've been to a cemetery. My friend Teal Gray is, I don't know if some of you might know her, she's very psychic. And I was just meeting her for lunch. I came to her office. I walked in, and the minute I walked in, she just goes, "Wow, why do you have all these little kids around you?" And I'm like, well, I was just at a cemetery. And she goes, so she had to send them all home. And yeah, I tend to be like the Pied Piper. Children really like me. And so if I'm not, that's usually what I bring home with me, are a bunch of children. And so I didn't believe it for a long time, but yeah, there you go.
Okay, Tony says,
Christian, oh, the Knights Templars. Yeah, I think I saw some, when I was in Gibraltar, I saw some graves that had Templar symbols on them. I'm trying to think, I kind of want to dig into my photos now. Yeah. Do you believe walking on graves is disrespectful? Not really, but it's not safe exactly. And I gave a talk at a monument builders conference. And what's cool is people who make headstones, it tends to be a family business. So if I had a question, they'd be like, I don't know, let me ask Grandpa. And then, Dad, come over, Grandpa, come over. And one of these guys, they were talking to me and I was asking him about a certain cemetery. And he said, oh my gosh, he goes, yeah, I went there alone. He goes, number one, never go alone to an old cemetery. Because if you run into trouble, and he said this was before cell phones too. He was just in a hurry. He wanted to check out a spot for a grave that was coming up. So he didn't tell anyone he was going there. He ran there. It was getting close to dark. He ran over to where they were going to be digging. And he goes, I hated this graveyard because the soil was the water table was high and it was hard to dig. And he was in a hurry to get home for dinner. And he ran across a bunch of graves. They were old. And the old caskets, must have crunched. He was a pretty big guy and, big burly dude. And it must have been the straw that broke the camel's back. And he goes, suddenly it like crunch, his foot goes down. He was wearing boots and they filled with mud. And he's getting sucked into a grave. It's like a horror movie, right? And he's like, I'm there going, ah! He goes, luckily a family came and saw him. And then they went and got their dad and he pulled them out. He'll pull them out. So that's the real reason you don't want to walk across graves. He goes, it really isn't a sign of disrespect. I mean, I try to follow the paths and lanes that I can. I usually have a stick. I'm more looking for fire ants and snakes. So yeah. When you visit a cemetery, what would you consider an awesome discovery? Whenever I see a symbol that I haven't seen before, but I know about, or like I like Egyptian symbols a lot. When people have really nice like lotus topped columns and vulture wings and all that stuff, which are used. I should say, when you see Egyptian symbols, they're borrowed. Christians borrow we all borrow each other's symbols. So if you see an Egyptian symbol on a Christian tomb, it doesn't mean anything bad. It's just it's then incorporated into stand for like eternity or different things like that. Oh, Woodmen of the World. I love Woodmen of the World. Those are very eye-catching, and we have a lot of them here in the South. Those were, it was a fraternal organization that gave you a death benefit. And so the more you paid them, the bigger your tree stone was going to be when you died. And so they had a saying that no woodman should lie in an unmarked grave. So I love those Woodmen of the World. They're really neat. Are the bodies behind the headstones or in front? They're in front. So the headstone and then, pretend I'm a headstone and this is the names and stuff. Then I'm lying here, headstone here. And then sometimes you will see, so the headstone here, body with the head. And then over here at the end, you might see what they call a footstone. And that's to let you know where where it ends, where the feet are. And a footstone is usually just flat to the ground. And what's neat about them is if maybe sometimes they have a nickname for someone on there. So it might say like, Nana on it, or, Titi or something. And so if you're like researching your relatives, you might learn that, oh, that was her nickname, Nana or something. So by the footstone. You guys ask good questions.
I was talking and I was muted. I find it funny that not so much funny, but when I do watch some people's videos, they'll come across the footstones and they'll say, oh, well, this is an unmarked grave or something.
Oh, really? Oh, no.
And it's not. It's actually just the footstone.
Oh, that's funny.
And so a lot
I can see why they might think that, though.
Yeah. They misconstrued the footstone sometimes for unmarked graves. So.
Yeah. And so sometimes people share graves with their parents. They might not be, women might be buried with their child that don't always get mentioned on the headstone, but hopefully they do.
Well, I'm sure they know you mean no disrespect, Laura, because I've seen you at cemeteries and you are very respectful. So is there anything else you would like to share with us? I appreciate you coming on tonight because this has been amazing.
No, it's just, yeah. It's just,
question.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Twinkie.
Have you ever heard, now this is what my family has brought up, that The man is always supposed to be buried on a certain side of the female.
Yes, there is a whole big thing about that, and whoo-wee, let me tell you, that really does vary cultural. So let's see. Nowadays, like when I spoke at that modern, the monument builders, they were saying that modern stones they've encountered, and these were all throughout, it was the Southern Monument Builders Association. So everyone throughout the South, they were saying the man is always on the right, like, and then, so he could have, just imagine if he had his arm around his wife and, could like fight or whatever. So that's why he's like, that's how you can remember it. The man should be on the right. But I see opposite all the time. And that has to do with different cultures. I think certain German settlers would do it the opposite. So it does vary. It's not like one's right or wrong. It's what's most common though is the man is going to be on the right side, as you were, and that gets confusing because you mean the right side. As you're looking at it, you can be saying the same thing. But I love to pay attention to that because it does vary a bit. Are there times when they are behind the headstone, such as a witch? Yeah, about those witch headstones, you need to go. You need to go to my website and read about that. Now, there are times when someone has been a criminal or they've done something and they're ostracized by the society, and they might be buried outside the fence or to show that, hey, we don't want them in with the rest of us. In Europe, there was a whole pecking order. People, when they would bury them around the church, there was a whole thing about who, like, suicides could only be buried on the south, and they had to be lifted over and couldn't go through the gate. And there was a whole big rigmarole about that. But I have to say about the witch grave, you might want to go to my website. I've got a article about that. There are, unless you're talking about Salem, Massachusetts, or someone who's a Wiccan, there really are no witch graves. Those are usually false urban legends, and I hear about them a lot this time of year because, hey, Halloween's coming up. So and all graves, no, they aren't a standard size. They started, U.S. military ones are, because, hey, the military, they're going to be regimented. And so they have a standard size. But headstones do vary. And a lot of it actually does have to do with fashion, believe it or not. There's a lot of fashion trends that in cemeteries, just as there are in other aspects of life, which, it seems surprising at first, but then the more you look into it, the more you realize, oh, okay. And when you visit certain parts of America, you can tell that a certain style kind of took on, and you'll see a lot in a similar town, and then you go to another town and a different style of willow is very popular there. So do I agree with cemeteries being moved? Yeah, I guess it depends on the reason. There are some that end up being flooded because they make a lake. There's just so many variants. I really like old cemeteries to be left alone because to me they are more than just the graves. They are the trees and the plants. There are a lot of old cemeteries in the East, especially, that have achieved arboretum status because there are plants growing there that you just don't find elsewhere. So they're like seed repositories. They're living libraries. So to move those would be really defeating the purpose because there's, what's going to happen to the trees there? That's one thing I love about cemeteries. There are old trees there. There's a lot of nature there. There's a lot of undisturbed nature. I'm kind of going. So yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends case by case for me on that.
Right. Okay. Everyone, you can go over to Tui's channel and you're going to hear all kinds of amazing topics. She brings on some amazing guests as well.
I love interviewing people.
Some of the discussions are some of them are crazy. It's the things that these people find and do. So definitely go check out her shows. I know she goes live on Thursdays at 4 Central Standard. Is that?
Yeah, I'm actually going to be taking a little bit of a break right now because I've got to get my my book finished for the publisher. So, but dig in. I've got a whole bunch of a whole bunch of things about specific cemetery symbols. I got one about the alien's grave. I've got, and a lot of interesting guests. So until I come back on, it's going to be a couple weeks. I have to catch up and get my manuscript together. Because as you know, I know it takes time to prepare these shows. And so I'm like, I've got to buckle down and do some writing. I've got to be a little bit of a hermit, but I'll be back.
That is good. So Bama has one last question, and then
Sure.
we'll let you get on with your night.
Our grave plots all laid out in a certain order to keep it looking straight. It really varies. Okay, so there is a certain style of, okay, I'll try to make this short, of a cemetery where all the graves faced east, because on Judgment Day, they would think, the sun's going to rise and you're going to rise too. But when they started making what they call garden cemeteries in the 1830s, these were meant to be places, believe it or not, this is really crazy, but America's first public parks were their garden cemeteries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People didn't have public parks. You would be like, hey, this Saturday, you want to meet me at the cemetery? Oh, they would have carriage rides. They might have hunting. People would set up easels. They'd be having picnics. They used their cemeteries very differently than we do. The cemeteries really were for the living. They weren't places where we've become so detached from death that now we're scared to go to the cemetery or even walk around one. The old ones, I love reading accounts of the big parties they would have there, like the annual party. They'd be singing hymns in the cemetery, and then the kids would be running around playing ball or whatever in the cemetery. So the long story is that when they started making these garden cemeteries, they laid them out to have like circuitous paths and hills, and the rich people could show off their statues and whatever. And it was that's when they quit making it. Those type of garden cemeteries don't all face east because it's going to be a changing landscape. There are a lot of cemeteries, however, where the graves all do face east. I mean, kind of additioning, but it is for that reason. I hope I made some sense there.
You did, yes. Okay, Tony said, do you see a lot of symbols that are misrepresented that people take wrong?
Oh, yes, and I have an article about that on my blog right now. I have 3 big ones that people misrepresent. I already talked about the pentagram. Another one is just sometimes they will see an angel statue and she'll have a star like on her forehead. And people kind of get freaked out about stars in general because pentagram, it just means penta, 5, gram, line. So it's 5, the word itself doesn't mean anything bad, but we have a lot of connotations with it. That is actually just stands for the Virgin Mary. It's like shorthand for her. Once again, the star from the east. So the star is to remind us of the star that led the 3 wise men to her and baby Jesus. But people get worked up over that one a lot. So that's one. And then the pentagram we talked about. Oh, torches. The whole torch thing about torches being upside down. People kind of freak out over that and think that it means something bad. I've come across that a lot.
So eye? I've seen a stone that has an eye on top of it.
Oh yeah, the all-seeing eye of God. God's all-seeing eye. Of course, people get into the whole Illuminati. You look at the dollar bill and you will see the same thing, and that can be a Masonic symbol. A lot of it depends on context. You can see the same symbol on 2 different headstones, and you have to think about context. Like, am I in a Christian cemetery or a Jewish cemetery? Which denomination, is this Methodist? You think about where you're at. And then you have to think of the context of the time, like what time period, how old is this symbol? And then you can kind of figure out what it means. Like a good example of that is a pitcher. You could see a pitcher being poured on a headstone. There's one in Weatherford. There's a pitcher. And if you see a picture and you're in a Jewish cemetery, then that means that the people descended from the tribe of Levi, and because the Levites would wash the hands of the priests. But if you're in a Christian cemetery, then that stands for someone who might have a very virtuous woman, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times she might have even been involved in the prohibition movement, the abolitionists, not the abolitionists, the ones who were like against alcohol, the Carrie Nation, the axe wielding, don't drink booze ladies. She might have been Temperance League. She might have been one of the Temperance League. So what does a footstone look like? I don't think I've ever seen one. Yeah, they just look like a brick, pretty much, usually. Yeah, that's a great example.
Like you
'Cause
got your
they get buried.
headstone here and then your footstone here. It's just a little tiny stone that just sticks up at the end.
Ah, perfect. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think
Wow, you
we
guys
got
have lots of questions. Woo.
I
This
think
is
we
great.
got all the questions answered, I hope. But if
And they
you
can
have any
email
more
me if they think-
questions, yes, email her. And definitely go check out her website. It's pinned in the comments up at the top, and it's down in the description
And
as
grab
well.
my free book on hands.
Yes.
That's a really good place
Yes.
to start. That you'll decide from that, like, this is fun. I want to learn about cemetery symbols. Or you'd be like, who cares? You know, that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Or you want
It
to get
is.
your friend into it. You know, that's how I got my husband into it. Like I say, I just got him into the hands. Now he's all into it. So,
Where can they find your books?
just go to Amazon and type in Tui Snider. It's a weird enough name. You're not going to get not too many of us around.
Although you do have one that's a Patreon. I love hearing that. And I always see the not relation or no relation.
Oh yeah, isn't that neat? Yeah, I
Yeah.
know Tui Wise. I know on my Patreon, one of the people following me on Patreon, her name is Tui. I'm like, what?
Because
And it's like,
I never heard of it till I met you. And
the only other Tui I had met was like this big burly guy from the South Pacific, you know. And so I was like, oh hey. So anyway, it was kind of neat to meet another female Tui. I'm like, wow, isn't that cool?
it is.
Yeah.
So, guys, make sure you go follow Tui's channel. And like she said, she is taking a little bit of a break to finish her book, but she will be back.
I'll be back.
Check out all the older videos. She has a lot of interviews on there and some other videos as well. So please go check her out. Tui, thank you so much for coming on tonight. We're going to bring up some more people now here on the panel. But I do appreciate you coming on and speaking with us. It was very interesting.
Yes,
Always a good time hearing you.
Thank you guys. Thanks so much. You guys are very friendly and you asked a lot of really cool questions and I appreciate that. And I hope you guys can, you know, take up this wonderful hobby. It's really a lot of fun. Have some fun out there in the cemeteries. Maybe I'll bump into you in a cemetery one of these days.
Well, I hope to meet you soon.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
we'll
Thank
definitely
you.
have to try to get something together. Thank you
Great.
so much, Tui.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, let's see, Debbie. Bye, Debbie. Well, someone's asking about Freemasons. Oh, well. Tell them later.
Okay, let me get this link sent out to everyone real quick. Hold on just one sec, guys. I lost the link. Okay. Let me send this out real quick and then I'll be right back. Tui is such an amazing person and I could listen to her talk forever. She has so many interesting things that she finds and sees, and she's always putting pictures up. So you guys make sure you definitely go and check her out. Let me find the peoples. I know some people may have already had to leave, but okay.
That was a really good interview.
It is. She is such an awesome person. Like the very first time I interviewed her was on Parapalooza, and I loved her book. You know, I had her book before then, and I was just very excited that she came up and did the interview with us. That was very cool. My grandpa is buried on the left of my grandma because she died first, and my grandpa's second wife is behind him. Oh, wow. And I know a lot of people here who have family that is like it'll be a husband, and if they had a child pass before them, like my cousin Cody, he was buried first, and so they put him in the middle, and then Poncho was buried on the left side of Cody, and then Terry will be buried on the right side of Cody.
How?
What up?
Hello.
How are y'all tonight?
We are alive and kicking, so I can't complain.
That is very good to hear.
I sent you a message on Messenger that I need you to look at immediately.
Okay.
I laughed at you. What? I'll bring the chat up in just a second. I had to show her that. It'll be fine.
Oh,
I was like, oh.
I would do something like that.
I was like, I wonder if she knows that.
No, I didn't. If I did, I would have took it down. Hello, Stephanie, and hello to everyone that came in while we were doing the interview. I did not want to interrupt.
Oh my God. Sorry.
So if I didn't say hello to you in the when I was commenting, I'm sorry. Just say hello again, and I'll say hello. So I see Nicole come in, Buddy, Stephanie,
Kim Lemons.
Hey Kim, how are you? Let's see.
Hey Stephanie.
Hey everybody.
Hey Puddin.
Hey Sissy Doo.
Hey
Puddin.
Hey wait, hang on.
Buddy, Bama, Jenny,
FFL.
Amy Doo-Wop.
Doo-wop.
Uh-huh.
Wop, doo-wop. Y'all don't really want to hear me sing.
Hey Barbara. Hey Bama.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
I know you, buddy.
Mr.
Oh, everyone, Gary W. is new here. Everyone welcome him.
Who?
Hello.
Hello, Gary.
Gary,
Bull
Jerry,
crap,
Harry, Larry.
Gary. Bull crap.
And thank you so much, Debbie, for introducing me to Tui. I've definitely enjoyed getting to know her and following her channel. It's been amazing. Jen, hello. Love you. Give my nephews a big hug.
Hi, my bestie.
So did you post a joke today? Because I have not got to see it yet.
I did.
Yes, she did.
It's a very
Okay.
tame joke today.
It's a tame joke today.
It's tame and it's a lame joke. I'll just tell you.
It's a mom joke.
It's a for real dad joke this time.
Oh, okay.
So tomorrow though we're back at it with the naughty side of things.
That'll work. It's Friday. Tomorrow's Friday, so
Yeah.
that's okay. And Vodka said, yes, she did.
It's joke of the day number, what is it, 9?
Number.
Exactly. I'm glad you understood.
Mm-hmm.
All too well.
So
And YouTube is being stupid and playing up when you try to comment. Okay, so it did that to me forever. Now it's doing it to everyone else. So
it was doing it to me. I was not able to comment on my phone. Like I would try to answer people's comments on my phone and it wouldn't let me. And I had to go over to the tablet laptop thingy to be able to
Yeah, I know when I tried to comment on a few people's videos, it would just say error.
yeah. Hi, Doug.
Hello, Doug.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Gary, that's a lot of y'alls. I thought I said y'all a lot.
Y'all. Let's see.
So you're gonna torment Elmo again, Queen?
I might. You never know.
What did you miss, Sandra? That's okay, Stephanie.
Oh, that's cool.
Stephanie.
Amy, what's your preference? Crispy bacon, floppy, or soggy? Crispy.
Crispy with a little bit of grease on it.
Crispy with a little more.
Kim said, it did it to me, and since I'm so tech savvy, I was like, oh, hell, did they block me? Laugh out loud. No, you have not been blocked on anybody's, Kim.
I don't know what's going on with good old YT, but they need to pull the thermometer out of their butt.
Yeah. they're always having issues, and they're probably trying to update something, and then they don't tell us, and then everybody goes into panic mode. And I'm usually the first one to go into panic mode, because if y'all have not noticed, YouTube is my second life, and I would be lost without it.
Sandra says she missed my joke of the day.
Joke
Well,
of the
it
day,
hasn't actually
look,
been up too awful long.
there's
Y'all-
one good thing about that. You can always go back and watch it.
Y'all just should have seen Twinkie the other day when her internet wasn't working.
Oh,
my
man.
She
Oh,
was
man.
irate. I was
I even went out to the truck and got in the truck and tried to talk to the ladies here, because I couldn't. It kept knocking me off, and I was getting angry, and I was even walking around outside trying to get a signal. And finally, I just said, "To heck with it. It's not going to work."
she was
And I gave up.
We could hear her fine, but she said we sounded like robots.
They did. They sounded like robots, and it didn't even show me up in the deal. It showed me down, like in the basement area.
But
We're like, we're
see
looking
her.
right at you.
Yeah.
We're watching every move you make.
I have learned, though, you know, that deal that goes around Facebook and stuff every now and then that says, if we gave you $1 million, could you stay on a deserted island with no internet, no cell phone? The answer is now officially no. Because by the time I was done, I would be so insane that they would just use that $1 million to pay for my rent at the insane asylum for the rest of the time that I was alive. So no, I need internet.
And they would probably, and in her padded cell, they would probably put in a box a cell phone just to tease her with.
That didn't work. That would have no Wi-Fi. I was able to comment just now on joke of the day 4 from my laptop.
It's like it's not wanting to work on cellular devices, but it's a big word. Leave me alone. But it will let you
Cellular.
on computer type deals.
Okay, I have problems with small words.
You have just problems.
Yeah.
She went from cellular devices to computer type deal.
Well, Amy,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to give you the look, but you're not going to see it. You're just going to feel the look. Feel the look.
I can feel it. That you just have that look that like burns a hole through the camera off deal.
See, she just said deal. That's where I picked it up from.
Okay, okay.
Deal.
So
That's
yes,
That's
probably.
deal.
Yes, probably.
That's the deal, pickle.
That's
Because
the
I
deal.
used to not say deal or anything like that until I started hanging out so much with Amy, and now it's like this deal and that deal and her deal and my deal.
Well, at least you're not saying thingamajiggy bobber and whatchamacallit and
No, I call them doodly critters instead.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
say. What we call it.
so. Debbie said she couldn't do it on her laptop either.
Well, I'm not a YouTube expert.
I'm not.
I'm a terrible joke expert.
I will never claim to be a YouTube expert because they keep changing stuff.
Yes. That was Jared. He farted.
Thingamabobs, yeah, thingamabobs are awesome, Kim.
Mine's doodly
Who farted? Jenny
doodly
wants to know
critters
who farted.
and thingamajiggers. Not me. It was Jared.
It was Jared.
Yeah, it wasn't me this time.
Surprisingly.
Jared is crop dusting today.
He
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah, you know mine sounds like mosquitoes.
That wasn't no crop dust. That was a whole.
That's Peter's.
That was an inline streamer.
And we
Bama
put a
says,
blade of grass
children,
between the
children, don't make me separate y'all.
He started it.
Anybody got anything big coming up this week?
Besides my butt.
I gotta work. What
gotta
am
work
a
out.
doodle? What am a doodle? What am a
Wang
doodle?
danger.
I'm gonna have to use that. What am a doodle?
I say a wang danger sometimes.
Wang danger.
Yeah,
A wang danger?
a wang danger.
Jenny, it likes, yeah, it
Yeah,
likes
I
to
get it.
touch someone.
So whatchamajigger?
A whatchamajigger? A
Wang
whatchamacallit?
dangers and doodly critters.
My favorite is doohickeys. Yeah, doomaflachi.
Yeah, Dougie McCluchy.
There you go.
Duty must lead you.
Oh,
Yeah,
Gary. Gary said that's what she said.
Oh Lord.
Oh, vodka.
Oh,
I don't mean to laugh.
Buddy said I have Hearst Fest Saturday. I thought he said I have horse feet.
Horse feet. That would make
Well-
sense.
He does wear ankles.
So is
What?
we look forward
Lord,
to
maybe you
Hearst
should-
Fest every year.
Joke about why we can't comment on YouTube videos. I'd probably get blocked, Marianne.
Does that say diddle dabbits or diddly dabbits?
I think it's diddly dabbit.
Diddly dabbits. I'm back helping with horses at long last, but only mending fences. You got to start somewhere, Bama, and that's awesome that you're even out able to do that kind of stuff. So, congratulations.
Diddle dabbits. I like that. Although it does also sound like something you get out of a truck stop restroom.
I don't have to work because I'm off for several months. That would be nice.
I'm off for the next 3 days.
Well, I work Friday and Saturday, but Sunday we're going out of town to go meet up with Zach. But I'll explain in a little bit why it's unnerving. I can't say it on here because it'll give too much away.
I know.
But it's very unnerving. When I went to Missouri last weekend, I saw a billboard and it said "Toot Toot Restaurant."
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't want to eat there if it's a plate full of toot toots.
Yeah, it probably gives you the toot toots.
Everything gives me the toot toots. What you talking about?
Oh, I can put my Halloween background up today because there's only 3 of us on here. There we go. Whee!
They're so excited. Look how happy she
I'm
is.
genocide.
Hi, genocide and fur babies.
The only thing I got coming up this week, and that's real big, is more jokes.
More joke. Well, we love the joke. Are you going on a bridge, Amy? No. Wait. No.
I had to think about that. Wait.
I don't think I am. Well, I mean, we're going to one main specific place, but we're going to try to find a couple of other places while we're there. It's just the location of the places that's very unnerving. So just be watching. I'll explain it in the video. Jared, don't go into those bathrooms and truck stops. Major diddly dabbits. That's what they are. Eddie work at restaurant called Brown Cavern.
No
Who
spiders,
ran
Gary.
No. I better not run into any more spiders. That's a big no-no.
Sandra says she wants to know how you find spiders.
What?
No, that's not what she meant. Don't hurt me. Sandra.
She said, "Oh wow, you have to show me how you did that, Amy,
Okay.
with the
will.
doodly dudes on the
With the doodly dudes on there.
yeah." That last
need-
part I added in.
Lord W, behave.
Ooh. The
I'm
only
telling you, I
spiders
still, I'm having nightmares about them.
The only spiders that Amy will ever want to be around is the ones on my shoulders.
Yes. And then I might spray them every now and then just to make sure they stay there.
Yeah.
You should try to hurt me.
I don't know about that. So I blame Zach, because every place he took us, and I'm not even joking. You couldn't see it in the mansion video, but there was so many daddy long legs, and every time we're with Zach, we come up across a bunch of spiders. No joke. The motel that we went to the last time we went there did not have any spiders. This time, covered in spiders. The mansion, covered in spiders. The farmhouse, covered in spiders. The Denver Cemetery, spiders falling down from the tree. Lots of spiders. I think Zach just attracts spiders.
If all goes well, Saturday we're supposed to be getting together with Mads to go hit up a few locations.
Oh, nice.
I'm excited. I forgot about that. But I'll still have jokes.
We have a street called Knob Bob
Yeah.
across each other. They had to have been drunk for that one. Yeah, Knob Street and Bob Street, right?
We got a community called Bald Knob.
Bob Knobs. Wow.
That gets
You
spider with
kind of wonder what some of these people are thinking whenever they name this stuff.
Did you know that they charge per letter for those little signs?
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah. I had a friend, it was a friend of my mom and dad that worked for the county, and he said for them signs to be made, it is so many dollars per letter on those signs. That's why a lot of signs have to be abbreviated because it's expensive.
It's probably why some streets are called A Street, B Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, too much money.
Mine would just be spray painted.
Kim, you definitely wouldn't be able to a lot of that because I brave through them spiders. And mainly it's better if there's people with us because I will act braver than what I feel in that moment. But when we were in the mansion and you shined your light down on the ground, there would be like 100 daddy long legs running past you.
You
So-
know that they long legs can't bite you, right?
I don't care.
Yeah, you
Nope.
silly.
I
But
don't
there's a-
care. They can crawl in my ears. They can.
My friend that had a stroke a couple weeks ago, she got to go home, and her daughter wrote me and said, "Mama would love to see you," and she sent me her address. Guess what the name of her street is?
What?
Inch Along Lane.
Inch Along Lane.
Bama? I don't understand your.
And,
You're gonna
and
be
Daddy's from
hard?
Lick Creek.
Hard and Mads. So you should have plenty of jokes, Queen.
I'm not understanding.
Hard and Mads.
I think maybe you might have meant that comment for not the queen. Gary.
Oh, Sandra. She said, okay, I will tell you Zach's secret, Amy. He is Spider-Man when we are not looking.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Now there's a place in Virginia. It's called Grassy Knob.
Grassy Knob.
What is it with people in the knob?
There's a lot of knob streets.
Apparently, people like knobs.
We got bald knob. There's bob and knob. There's
Scratch ankle knob.
pardon.
I don't know.
Well, our family cemetery's up on the mouth of Hatchet.
Gary. Gary, no.
And Daddy's from Lick Creek.
Bat Rican said, tell everyone I said good night. He is going to bed because he is tired.
Well, good night,
And
tired.
Melissa is also going to bed because she has a really bad headache. So everyone keep her in your prayers.
Good night, y'all. We love y'all.
You have to spray Zach down with bug spray next time out. Exactly.
Harry, not Virginia.
I
Get
said
the
it's spray
phone
a
back
spirit
to
animal.
Jenny.
Oh my Lord, Jenny. That's Virginia.
Good job, Gary.
Be a good girl and give Jenny the phone back. Gary, no.
Jenny, has you or Virginia been looking up any more magazines or
Magazine.
books?
Look.
Remember?
Oh.
Jared and Mads, not.
I was very, very, very confused.
Okay, I think you're saying good night to them, Kim, but if not, good night. Love you.
No, you're bunching. But yeah, Bama, it makes sense now. So, yes, you should have plenty of jokes, that's for sure.
Oh, I always got jokes as Gary's around.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, give
But-
Mads, and if he brings his wife, give her hugs as well.
Will do. And Mad is just like an epic dude. I mean, you know, you see him on his videos. You know, he seems like
Yeah.
really cool, mellow. No. You get him when you meet him in person. He's like just awesome.
We've actually got to
met
we met him in person in Tennessee when we did the deal.
Reunion.
We didn't get to film with him that time. We just got to spend the evening with him, but he is definitely a nice
Sweetheart.
person, and his wife is amazing as well.
Yeah.
Loved them both to death. He was very shy that night, just because there were so many of us there, and it's kind of like a bombarded deal, I guess you could say. But
Yeah.
he was such a sweetheart.
He tickled all kinds of crap out of me that night we got a bird.
Yeah,
We have a dead end street called Wits End.
Wits End. Oh, that's cool.
I'm always at my wit's end.
No, Gary. No.
Oh, thanks, Bama.
No, Gary. Brandy's already sent me pictures. I'm pretty sure it was Brandy. I ain't want no stinking spiders.
What
Or,
about ones that smell good?
or spider webs.
You know, that's one thing. I have like really poofy hair. And so, like, even though I duck and try to get up under some of this, my hair still tends to catch a lot of it. And so I was so scared to even look at my hair that night because I felt like I felt like the spiders found a new home and they were just all up in my hair. Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, Sandra, you need to get pictures of those street signs for me.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Gary needs to behave tonight.
Gary's on the ish tonight.
He is. I knew someone who had a pet tarantula called Ripper. Now, one should not have a pet tarantula. Two, if its name is Ripper, I want nothing to do with it.
And three, it's a spider. She don't want nothing to do with it anyway.
I had a buddy once that had one and it got loose, and then he had to rename it Splat.
Oh my. Well, that's what I would rename it because it would be flat.
Yeah.
Well, I used to clean houses for people, and one of the places that I cleaned, the guy had a red-haired tarantula. And I would be cleaning, he would come in, and he would let the spider out. Now, it wouldn't bother me because I wasn't afraid of it. I just worked around him. I'd pick him up, put him somewhere else if he got in my way. Well, Jared come by to bring me lunch one day, and I forgot that the spider was out. And he sat down on the couch, and the spider come crawling across the back of the couch towards him. And I was like, "Hey, Jared, can you stand up real quick?" He's like, "Man, I just sat down." I was like, "You want to stand up real quick?" He said, "I'm tired. I want to sit down. I'm on my lunch break too." I was like, "All right, fine." That spider crawled up on his shoulder, and he looked over and screamed. It could have broke glass. He screamed so high pitched and so loud. Yeah. He flung that poor spider up against the wall.
Was butt naked before I got through the living room.
Yeah.
Half to death.
It took
Hi,
me 20
Tori.
minutes. It took me 20 minutes to find that spider.
Okay, so if there's ever a spider near me, don't be polite. Just say, "Get the hell up. There's a spider."
Well, I knew what was going to happen if I said that. He started jerking all his clothes off.
Well, I would rather that happen before it gets on me.
Yeah, me too.
It's only if I got it to do.
Barry, you're misunderstood. My butt.
And God forbid the least little thing touch you after you see a spider.
Yes.
Brings it all back.
My hair does that a lot.
Mine too.
My hair scares me so much.
Your wife also does it when you see a spider. I'll use my hand to curl up your shoulder.
Yeah, I've actually knocked
So,
the crap out of you for that too.
Laura W got a new food. It's fried pickles and ranch popcorn.
What?
That might be interesting. I tried the caramel apple popcorn, and it was nasty.
It doesn't sound appetizing.
It wasn't. I love caramel apple, anything, but that did not.
The other night, Angus went to the fair. Not last night, but the night before, or the night before that.
Oh,
One or the other.
my.
Angus went to the fair and brought me back a caramel apple with nuts on it. It was so good. Bless his little heart.
Jenny, I love you. Jenny sent me the cookbook that she shared with y'all.
Yeah. I got the text
50
message today.
ways to eat cock. Healthy chicken recipes with balls.
So, the one thing I was trying to figure out for an hour after that is, are they cooking the chicken's balls as well as the chicken?
I would definitely be interested in seeing some of those recipes.
It's chicken nuggets.
Oh my. I think it's because I'm English. Is that what it is?
Absolutely.
Gary.
Man, I probably would have thought it was a spider and screamed grin.
I was at the dentist office on Wednesday. I was walking on the sidewalk. I started picking something in the crack. I thought it was a shiny black rock. Turned out to be one of those big black beetles. I hate those things too. I hate those things too.
I don't
Lord
like,
just puts it out there.
I don't like centipedes or millipedes at all. Those things are, I can't. Those are the devil's bugs.
Oh, and Jenny, I wasn't trying to be short with you when I was replying to you about that. I was just laughing so hard, it was hard for me to type.
Put that in there. Keep tickling them.
Bull balls are supposed to be okay. So we call them calf fries here, the bull testicles, and they are tasty. I'm not gonna lie, okay, but my girls eat them until they found out what they were. When they thought they were mini chicken fried steaks, they ate them, but when they found out they were not mini chicken fried steaks, they stopped eating them.
Tony, no, that's where the chicken nuggets come from.
Hi.
Hi. I love you.
I love you.
Squeezy chickies.
Hi, everyone.
Just cut it out.
Wait, oh, don't pull my hair.
Stop it.
Wench. Oh, don't pull my
Me and
fat
Angus
roll.
do the same thing. Still
My
got
chair
squeezy
has
chickies
one
in
bolt.
there.
Remember this.
Hi, everyone.
Okay,
Love you
my
too,
chair
Jenny.
has one bolt. I'm just reminding you of this because we're leaning forward.
You need a new one anyway.
I need a new one, yes, but I can't afford one right now. Sit up. Lean up this way. No, Layne, you're gonna.
When they fall on the floor and the
Don't-
little feet are kicking, I'm
don't-
gonna laugh. I promise.
Your phone.
Don't lean on my chair. Don't lean on my chair. Animal
Don't lean on my
nuts.
chair.
Don't lean on my chair.
Hi, everyone.
Not going to lie, I didn't try them. They're good. They're like
Gary.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and just say this: 125%. I will not be putting any type of animal nuts in my mouth.
What?
You heard me.
if you didn't know what it was, you would probably like
I doubt that very freaking seriously.
it. Gary, don't make me come through this screen.
I'm still waiting for you to come through mine. So
Yes. Isn't this mine?
No, this is
I have
what
one just
Nana
like
gave
it.
me.
I have one just like it, I
Nana
think.
gave me this
Oh, no, no, no.
today.
Mine's black.
of course it is.
Hey, I have some gray shirts.
Uh-huh.
You have one that says Nakona Indians?
No.
You don't. So this
Virginia?
Well, you want to walk away before you. Oh, girl. Ow, my arm.
So you're a little nicer than I am, Amy. I would have done thrown something at my child.
Well, she's on my bad arm side.
She would already
Throw it with your other arm.
I would throw
Burn
something at
paper.
you live too. Don't even. I ain't got nothing here that I can throw at you though. That won't get broke.
Papers are fine. They're durable.
Virginia, please give Jenny back her phone.
What
Jenny,
do you need, Gary? Balls? Let's talk about animal balls and stuff. And you need some help? Is that what you need? I can't help you, Jared. You got
It's
Gary on
actually
this one?
hot in my house.
Well, let me just tell you.
Please do inform all of us here.
Nope.
Oh, well.
I didn't know what the cow's stomach was, and I didn't like it. It was like chewing erasers. Ew.
Oh man, that was always the worst.
That's why I won't eat menudo, because I don't want to eat the innards. So I eat pozole because it's the same thing without the yucky parts. It's got chicken in it. Would you quit? Turn the air down one.
No.
It's getting hot.
Amy, you can always wait till Layne goes to sleep and then give her a Dutch oven.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you guys, I'm gonna be ralphing soon.
Oh yeah, I'm scared of
Don't
you.
start when you start that.
You guys, I'll be ralphing soon. If you could pull my daggone hair.
Yeah.
I'm a farmer girl, nothing goes to waste. Well, I'm a country girl, and there's some things that just need to go to waste.
I just don't. I don't feel like I need to put animals' balls in my mouth.
There's just something it's like, that don't go there.
Yeah, I don't eat chitlins either, Bama. I am Indian, and Indians do believe in using, if you kill something, you use every single part of it. But again, some things are not meant to be in my mouth.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kind of things like that. I mean, you could still use it. You could use it for like ammo in a slingshot or something.
Or you can use it to trade off for something that you can eat.
Yes.
There you go.
Ain't nobody gonna trade
Yes.
for that.
Well, somebody in here has been eating hog nuts, so give them to her.
Not after I've used them for slingshot ammo.
No, you trade them off first to get the stuff that you can eat. Pay attention to me, will you?
It's pig intestines,
I need
Jenny.
it.
Fried. Deep fried. Pig intestines. After they've been cleaned out and washed.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how much you clean them out.
It's your neck.
Kim. Hi, Mo.
Mo, what's up, brother?
Hey, Mo.
If it stinks or looks funny, ain't going in my pie hole. No.
Well, why are you giggling like that, Jared?
It was funny.
Now, I know, like back in the day, they used to use the intestines for like casing for like sausage and stuff like that.
They also used intestines for something other else.
Cute goth girl, Sydney, what's up?
Hey, Sydney. Do you know what that something else was, Amy?
I don't want to know.
Shall I tell you anyway?
You should.
They were used to make the first condoms.
Well, no wonder there was a lot of kids then.
I think I forgot to tie off one end.
That would be disgusting. That would be like something that Uncle Butterbuns would tell us about.
I'm sorry. See, I have.
Could you imagine, though?
I have useless information that nobody needs to know. Why would anybody need to know that?
Oh, Cindy, that's awesome.
I don't know nothing about the state that I live in, but I know that they use intestines from animals to make condoms with. I am winning at life.
That would just be so blah.
John, what's up, brother?
I don't know what duck sausage is, but I know what duck butter is.
You're too nasty with it now.
Really?
Oh, that's nasty.
Ew, Gary. Hi, Shayna.
I don't know about all that, Gary.
Well, I guess you could, wash it and then turn it inside out.
Oh, you're talking about me?
Nicole.
Shut up. Sir.
Tony just says,
Hi, Shayna.
that's where the phrase lambskin. Ugh.
Yep.
Ew, John. God. John must be on another kegger.
Jesus love, there's his name. It's true.
Oh, Lord, Nicole.
What kind of history books you reading, Gary?
Nicole.
Oh.
Oh, my Lord, Tony.
So pig and sheep. Ah, pig in a blanket.
You're getting too nasty.
I don't know about that, Jenny. I don't think chocolate will help some things.
Pardon me, what?
She said chocolate will make anything taste better.
Rob, what's up, brother?
Virginia?
Sorry to hear you're not feeling good, brother.
Yeah, I hope you feel better, Rob. I
Love
could
you,
kind of
Rob.
tell earlier that you weren't feeling too good. Very expensive, the dog attacked. Oh, my Lord.
Oh.
Could you imagine going to the ER for that one?
What was it happen? Hey, what? Very expensive.
She's talking about the lamb skin. When it warms up, it smells like lamb, and she said the dog attacked. It was very expensive.
Could you imagine having to go to the gynecologist with that?
Yeah.
People like, madam, what you been doing?
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, that sounds like something he would say, Kim. She said, I asked my husband to talk to our teenage son about sex. He told him to respect girls always and tarp your load.
Lord.
You can definitely tell he's a truck driver. And you can also, I can definitely see Will doing that, Kim. Well, you could lay on the couch and relax up here, Rob. But you need to be resting and get some sleep. You're
Whose
drinking
house blew up,
Crown
Miss?
Royal. Huh?
I was asking Miss. Let me try again. I was asking Mystic whose house went boom.
Oh, they had a house in his neighborhood last night that blew up.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, he sent me pictures of it and stuff. They had one man that was really hurt.
That's awful.
He was just fixing to go to bed and it happened. Bama.
Oh, there's all kinds of variations of that phrasing, Jeannie.
Hi, Connor. I seen you pop in earlier. Anyone have TikTok? Follow me. We will follow you, Connor. What is your channel name on there? Or your what do you call TikTok?
Your handle.
I already follow him on TikTok.
I almost said gamer tag, but that's not it.
There we go. That's not better.
Not at all. Did they try to light their own fire? Bama.
Are y'all getting together here, Amy? Getting together here for what, Kim?
Rob, you're supposed to not be feeling good. What are you doing?
I have a tick on my tongue.
I got a tick on my talk. Ooh.
Oh my
Okay.
I
Lord.
was a doctor about that.
That sounds like a medical problem. Bigfoot Anonymous. My most recent video is popping off. Feel free to troll the trolls for me. Helps the algorithm. I'll follow you right now. I may already be following you. Hang on. And turn my volume down because I know an ad's going to pop up.
Don't it always?
Let's see. Bigfoot. It'd be cool to see some actual Bigfoot people on TikTok ones that know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Oops, did you say that?
Nope.
I said nothing. I'm over here with my
I am already following you. Oh, you got 15,000 followers.
Dang.
So y'all go follow. Oh, what the heck is wrong with my something? Oh, hello.
Your daughter put her hand on the camera, remember?
My phone is really
Blurry.
and bright for some reason. Big, what the?
Put it on. How bright is your brightness?
It's bright. Oh, hello. Where'd that come from?
Well, I mean, you
was kind of rubbing your body with it.
Yes, I was.
Notice how me and April both were like, you were giving it a rub down. You smeared it.
Anonymous. So I am following. So make sure you follow back.
Lighting a fart does work. A kid on a bus in high school. Look.
It does. I have done it many times. It's natural gas.
Yes. I watched Jared do it and caught his britches on fire. And that was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. That video has 181,000 views on it. Connor, that's awesome.
Oh, my heart.
I'm on your heart. You're hurt. Don't touch my neck. I knew it was coming. Sorry.
I did not actually.
You said Rob could rest arrow. No, I really wish you could have met a lot of them when they were here, Kim, which I know we were several hours away, but hopefully you'll get to meet Twinkie and them one day when they're here.
See, I got him too.
Got him.
Let me run over there real quick and see if I can grab him. Well, not in the literal sense of the word.
My phone is dead, but as soon as it charges up, brother, you'll have another follow.
Big
I
fan.
lost YouTube for a sec. YouTube's being a pain in the butt. Lighting your fart does work. A kid on my bus in high school did it. Almost caught seat in front of him on fire. Dang. John, if you keep on with that Crown Royal bottle, you're going to be following more than the Yellow Brick Road.
Hey, we're already followers, Bigfoot.
And see,
My
how about
video
I was talking about coming to see Twinkie in October, but now Casey wants to go too.
Yeah.
I said I needed a vacation.
So what are you thinking now? It's going to be more like November or something?
No, probably still October, but
but now she's got a traveling partner.
I'm still waiting for somebody to come see me.
She wants. Casey wants to see me.
Really, Jared?
Yes.
Well, see, I told Laura yesterday, Twinkie, that if we could get you on a plane and you get here, then we could drive to Tennessee.
Yes. Or I could drive there.
No.
We could drive there.
Listen, Linda, listen.
Listen, Linda. Linda, listen. Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda, listen.
I got called a Karen yesterday.
You fly here, Linda.
And then you drive here.
Okay. Well, Linda can do whatever the heck she wants to. But Amy is still having...
Okay, listen, Amy, listen.
Yes, I agree, Rob.
I need you gonna get on a plane. Just like one day we're gonna get Laura on a plane.
Who's gonna pay for the ticket?
Don't worry about that. I said we get you on the plane.
I'll walk onto the plane and then back off the plane, and that way I can say I've been on a plane.
No.
Good idea.
You got to go up in the air in the plane.
Okay, so I'll climb on top of the plane, jump up.
You dumb enough to climb on top of the plane, and that's your own fault.
The plane ain't going nowhere. I'll climb on top of it, jump up in the air, and that way I can say I was up on a plane in the air.
Now,
It's time to give you a daggone tranquilizer.
That's it.
That's what they're going to have to give me.
No, Twinkie, you'll be okay. Then you'll be wanting to sit at the window seat. trust me.
Okay, so if something happens to this plane while I'm on it, y'all better build me a big old huge
You can't
memorial.
think about negative stuff.
Listen, this is how it's going to be. Me and Amy both will be tranquilized in the cargo hold in the same crate.
Yes.
And
And
great.
then I'm gonna wake up in mid-flight and I'm gonna start screaming because I just had a dream that the plane blew up, and I'm gonna start screaming, "The plane's gonna blow up!"
And I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you,
then-
y'all down there in the cargo part, ain't nobody gonna hear you.
All right. So here's the thing, though. See,
True.
I'll be the pilot.
We're
So
screwed.
just
Then I'm not getting on a damn plane.
you'll be okay unless you see me pass your window with a parachute on. Then you panic.
Then I'm grabbing your leg. Better hope and pray it holds both of us. 'Cause I'm
But
fluffy.
I hope and pray his britches don't come loose.
They too.
Well, I'm
they
great.
tend to
Because
slide.
then you'd be flying and be incensed too.
Flying and flapping.
Well, we really don't want anyone's britches falling down mid-air.
No,
No,
because
that boy. Hey, boy, you talking about the worst wind chafe you ever had in your life?
Oh my lord! What are you gonna do? Fart
I'm
so
gonna
you
say
can go higher?
I'm gonna say it. He'll have his own little propeller.
Could you imagine all three of us holding on to him and saying, "Spin it"?
Oh my lord!
Get us going.
We're falling here.
And then you're gonna holler turbo boost, and he's gonna fart.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm at the bottom for.
Laura will keep us airborne.
That's it. I'll just let her rip, Tater Chip, and we'll ease to the ground. I'll propel us up enough that we'll slow down on the way down.
If your tater chip rips, we all gonna be passed out and won't even know when the bottom.
See, there you go.
There's
That's what it is.
the perfect. We'll be completely relaxed. We'll be perfectly fine.
Y'all watch the old school A-Team, so you will know how to get them on a plane. Yeah, knock me out.
Yeah, BA. Attaboy!
Hey, look over here for a second, Amy. Lights out.
Look, I was scared to death the first time I got on a plane, and now it doesn't bother me at all.
Hi,
What is
Dia.
Dia, what's up? Hey, Dia, you can give me the tranquilizer. I'll take it because I know that once I take that, I don't have to worry about anything else because I'm out.
Right.
It's y'all loading me onto anything without getting
Well, see, we have to
completely
put you on the
unadulterated
plane.
gas.
Oh,
We'll
we're not gonna do that. We just gonna
We'd have to
change-
get y'all on the plane first before we could give you the translator, because I can't pack you on my back.
You give
No,
me
in my
the
luck, y'all will
tranquilizer.
accidentally give me a vitamin and it won't kick in at all.
Look, you put our little crate needs to be on wheels. You put her in the crate and shoot her with a tranquilizer. Hand me mine, I'll take it, and I'll crawl in before I pass out, and then y'all can roll me into the cargo hold.
And say we planned on just tying the rope to the plane to you.
Jared,
Oh my lord!
Jared,
Yeah.
shut up.
Oh.
Nicole says, "I'll get on only if you leave the door open."
Oh,
Oh, boy.
yeah,
Not
it's
Jared.
not, it's not as bad as some. I mean, some people don't like it, but it's not as bad as a lot of people put on it.
Arena, that is
Okay.
not a comforting statement you made
So-
there, hon.
So
The
you gotta
taking
be in my brain though.
The
My
taking
brain-
off, when you take off, your stomach drops a little bit because of it going up in the air, and then when you land, it'll bounce a little bit, but
My fear is I'm gonna poop on myself because I'm gonna be so scared.
it
And
depends too. If you've got a good pilot,
Yeah, like me.
it depends on the pilot too.
And
Right.
Amy,
see,
Connor, stay awesome, brother.
Amy,
yes.
wear some Depends. It'll be fine.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. She spoke true words right after that. Depends. But no, see, my brain works as in my pilot's gonna be good at drinking before he gets on the plane,
My pilot's gonna die mid-flight.
and then we're gonna like hit a mountain or something. Is there mountains between here and North Carolina?
Yeah.
There's mountains, but you're way up. You don't even see it. You don't even see the ground when you're flying.
That's
Until
my
the plane hits it.
Yeah.
Oh my lord!
That's
You
it,
see
stay awesome.
clouds because they try to fly above the clouds most of the time.
See, my
Okay.
luck, it'll be extra super foggy, cloudy, stormy, lightning, terrifying tornado
Not Laura. Love ya.
And then there's going to be another plane coming in our general direction that's got its little compass all messed up, and we're going to go straight face to face with the plane, and kaboom! Teresa, yo!
Teresa, hello. Love
I
you.
actually think the same way about this whole situation.
Yes.
Get on a plane, final destination.
Yes.
I always take a nap when I get on a plane.
I'm a movie watcher, and so I understand that movies are fake, but they got to come up with these things from somewhere.
Yeah, but see, there'll be a difference. This time, I'll be driving.
You're not driving the plane.
Jared, I love you, but if you were anywhere near that cockpit,
no.
Okay.
We'll let you go up there and get some pilot wings.
Twinkie, we can just go ahead and let you go in the bathroom. You'll already be seated for when you.
Is there a seatbelt?
Amy, I already have my pilot's hat for that.
Amy, you do know how that flushes, right?
Oh, it's loud.
It'd probably suck me out.
See, I knew she would go right there. Me and Amy have already seen this movie. We know how it ends. Us not on a plane, awake.
Hey, who all wants to see my pilot's hat?
Me.
Put a 1 in the chat if you want to see my pilot's hat.
Put a 1 in the chat if you want to see his pilot's hat.
I'll give you a hint.
Hi, West Haven. It's old school. I've always been one to think about the negative. Well, okay, so I used to not be that way. You can ask Kim.
There's one. There's one.
So me and Kim used to live dangerously. I believe that song by Bellamy Brothers, "We Dare Lightning," was about us. No, seriously, we did. Because back then we didn't care.
Y'all know y'all
they
don't
see it.
understand. Y'all have to say, yes, Amy. Yes, Laura. It's not that bad. I want to get them on a plane, y'all. Come on.
Put a 1 in the chat. Okay, put a 1 in the chat if we should never get on a plane. Look, there's so many ones already.
All right, Jared, you ready?
All
right. Y'all ready?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, you are definitely not flying the plane. They've added a few components since then.
Okay.
They board a few.
So this one time, I got to tell you this story. This one time, we have this. It's a hill here called Devil's Canyon, but it goes kind of straight up. And you take your Jeeps and all that up it. So me and Kim always stole our friend John's Jeep. And we ended up, I'm surprised that Jeep made it as long as it did, because we had it in a lake. We've had it everywhere. But so Kim decides, who is driving the Jeep at the time, and I'm in the passenger seat. We don't have the top or the doors on. She decides she's going to drive up Devil's Canyon.
Wait, I lost my hair.
Never has she ever tried to drive up Devil's Canyon. So we get about halfway up, and we're kind of high centered. We're on a rock, and we're high centered, and we're kind of doing this. She decides at that moment to tell us she is scared of heights.
Oh, wow.
So she gets in the floorboard of said Jeep and is scared crapless, frozen. She's driving the Jeep.
In the floorboard.
No, she is now in the floorboard. No one is driving the Jeep.
That's when you jump over, Amy.
I could not do nothing. I was frozen. And it's one of them deals where you're laughing so hard because you know the creek you're in right now, and you can do nothing about it but laugh. And this is the type of stuff me and Jim did all the time. I'm surprised we made it, honestly. Dangerously, yes, a great word for us back then, yes.
Did you read what Tony wrote?
What did he say?
He said, I would like to know why on God's green earth are the flotation devices 12,000 feet in the air? Why not parachutes?
Right.
Tony, you're supposed to be helping me.
Oh, God. Cletus the pilot.
First class.
Yes, Kim, I had to tell that one because that one sticks in my mind so much because that was the very first time my life flashed before my eyes. Okay, Rob told me to read his last comment. Where's it at? Remember snakes on a plane, laugh out loud. Be Amy's luck. If she got on a plane, it would be tarantulas on a plane. Thank you, Rob.
No,
Yes.
Rob, no.
It probably would be. I would be on there with scientists that were doing like these experiments on tarantulas, and the tarantulas are like so gargantuan that they break the glass, and then they start climbing, and then my oxygen thing's going to come down. It's going to have a big tarantula in it.
Okay, stop talking about you're freaking yourself out.
I know. I'm having heart palpitations.
Palpitations.
Palpitations. I can't say that word.
Y'all got to get on a plane.
Yes, that creek arena.
A bigger plane is. I can get my uncle to
No,
check his-
no,
to
I am
fill
not
up
going
his
on his
plane.
Cessna. I'm not
He's
going on
got
his Cessna.
Cessnas.
Nope. Nope. Hi, Jen.
I'll
Love
get
you.
him
And
to fly to
Again.
Texas, pick you up. When we're coming back, we coming to get Laura and Jared.
You know what? Hey, what?
look, Twinkie's doing a joke of the day too.
No, Linda.
I missed it. What are we laughing
Linda.
about?
Listen,
Thank you
Amy,
so much for becoming a member, Jen. Love you.
The plane
What
is
are you
not.
doing with
Look, you
Lord,
can be on there and say, I'm on the plane. I'm on the plane.
I didn't know he. Are you tattooed?
I am now.
You get a tattoo with tattoo?
Gary says, no, really, Amy, imagine that. You are rocking the green now.
Yay.
How
Jenny,
is my
Jenny,
brother Fluffy?
tell Twinkie it's not bad flying on a plane. Please let her flow on a plane before it.
Jan, is it bad flying on a plane?
Yes.
But what if I'm driving?
Even more.
No. Definitely, Cletus definitely is not flying.
Hell to the no.
Lori, you made it back. Yay.
I was giving them a face. They saw it. They
Yeah, we
understood.
saw it.
Pretty woman.
Pretty work. Hey, I was going to turn the camera on. I turned the camera on.
That's a late one. That's a pretty.
Not as bad as
give
you
you the
think
post
if you
warning.
like free falls.
Jenny,
Yeah.
Jen.
Wow.
I
think I
want
just
you to
not.
help me out. I want her to fly to North Carolina.
Hush your mouth, Rob. I didn't say
Rob.
appellations. I said palpitations.
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 Palpable. That's got to do with the Pope, I think.
Palpitations.
Palpitations.
It ain't palpitations.
Kimberly Lemons, how drunk were you when you did both things?
Okay, look what she wrote, Twinkie. Look
Yes.
what she wrote.
Yes.
Flying isn't bad. It really isn't.
Mm-hmm.
So was that sarcasm?
So that
Emma
settles
said
it.
it's bad floating on water
That
when
settles it.
you're on a plane.
That
Floating on
settles
what?
it. Y'all getting on a plane. Cletus, no, you're not flying.
She says, we're getting on the plane and no, you're not flying.
That you know of.
No, because I'll have you strapped to my back with a parachute.
It's
Clear.
PayPal's
Yeah.
He's
sister
got his
app.
propeller, remember?
Yeah, you got a propeller. You're fine. I'll have 20. I'll have all of the. Damn, I just went blank. What are those things?
No, Captain Cletus. No.
Man, I love that idea.
What do they call them? You strap
Okay,
down your back.
Jen put her Fluffy on a plane.
That's
So
it. I'll have the whole entire plane's worth of parachutes on myself. Jared's got a propeller, so we're fine.
well, I'm gonna have the whole entire plane doing sing-alongs.
We're not going to be singing Kumbaya now.
You wanna make a bet? Now that you said you don't like it, you're gonna get me on a plane. We're singing Kumbaya the whole
Okay,
way.
if you get on the plane, we'll sing
Can I
Kumbaya
please
back
ride in the cargo hold for that? Sleeping. Y'all can
Well,
sing and I'll sleep.
Roberta, you always have a choice. I do not hold a gun to your head, so
buddy. Well, buddy, there's usually 2 pilots, so you know you can co-pilot with me.
Look, Twinkie,
Buddy.
Yeah, there's usually
it's
3 people. In the
3
cockpit.
hours from here to Texas.
mhm.
Yeah, me, buddy,
It's
and Rob.
19 hours to drive. Come on now.
Yeah. See, Kim said she was really drunk.
See, that would be 3 hours of her crapping her pants.
That's not gonna
Versus
smell
19
very good.
hours, 19 hours of being able to stop
Bring
and get out
some,
when she wants to.
bring some Febreze.
Teresa. Hello, Teresa.
Bring Febreze is all I can say.
Oh, my Lord.
You can get drunk to cross a bridge, Kim. You just may fall off the side. I don't do bridges very well either. Like bridges that we go to investigate are not that high. The bridge that me and Twinkie went across, nope, never again.
I don't like roller
no.
coasters either, Marianne. You just made it worse. Thank you.
I don't do roller coasters either, so.
I don't either.
Never been on one, don't plan on it.
Okay, so I did roller coasters when I was younger, but where we live, you know, Six Flags is around, and the roller coaster that I always rode, there was a fluffy woman who rode the roller coaster and she fell off the top. So,
Jesus, what?
yes, she flew out of the car, the dilly. Thank you, Fluffy. Hello, Fluffy. Love you.
See,
Hi,
there's
Turtle.
Twinkie. He's in one piece. He flew on a plane. See, he's in one piece.
He did. I took 2 Dramamine and hubby had to walk me off a flight. Laugh out loud. I get motion sickness bad. I get just any kind of sickness bad when I think of getting on a plane. That's all right, Fluffy. Thank you.
I get death visions when I think about getting on a plane.
Even when I'm
So
driving.
Rob said,
Yeah,
you
visions
really
of my
need to
own
fly
death if I
Amy.
get on a plane.
I love the drive down there, but it's such a long drive. Next time I go to that side of the country, I'm definitely going to fly, even though I'm scared of heights. So we have flown or drove every single trip that we've went on. Colorado, Tennessee, Indiana. We've driven to all those places because my fear.
Frank, what's up, brother?
Twinkie.
That's all right, Teresa. Hi, Frank. Frank. Anybody know what movie that's from? Hey, Frank.
Jesse.
Nope, different movie. I got Frank here, though.
I got Jesse here. Twinkie, you gotta fly.
What was that?
That was April subliminal messaging you about flying. She's trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Yeah. Teresa, I'm not going to be singing 99 bottles of beer. I'm going to be drinking 99 bottles of beer.
Look, they got alcohol on the plane.
Which is very
That's what I
expensive,
think.
so I'll bring my own.
I don't drink though. So tranquilizer.
How can I sneak my own alcohol onto the flight?
Intravenously.
Well, if you happen to know the pilot, wink, wink, you know.
You are not flying the plane. Drink coffee. Coffee's not going to do me any good. That's just going to amp me up and get me all.
Shayna said after. Wait a minute, let me find it again.
The last trip to Texas, the traffic scared me more than flying ever will. Okay, I understand that too because I'm scared of traffic too.
So you need to fly.
But I'm closer to the ground.
Twinkie.
That's
why we got to pop you a pill.
It's gonna take more than a little pill.
See,
Y'all better give me a whole elephant.
See, Frank gets me. Frank gets me. He said, "Get the beer from the pilot."
Yes, see.
My alcoholic. You're not flying the plane, Jared.
You can't be drunk before you get on the plane because they won't let you on the plane.
So, okay,
you have to get on the plane first.
Can you make some beef jerky that is infused with
By George, don't think I wouldn't try.
edibles?
Tranquilizers.
I'm gonna
I'll-
have something in my system.
I'll get some gummy. I'll get some of them gummy bears, and just
Okay, everybody
infuse
wants
them.
me to just get knocked out. Shayna just said, "Mr. T, hurry, y'all."
Just like we'll have to spike the gummy worms, sour gummy worms, to get Laura on there.
They're gonna X-ray me, and they're gonna be like, "What does that shadow that looks like a tequila bottle?"
Well, see,
there
you'll
for?"
already
And I'm
be
like,
X-rayed
birthmark.
before they
It's a
even
birthmark.
get in your system. Before they even get in your mouth, you already be through the X-ray machine. Because you have to wait until you get on the plane.
Okay, so New Year's we're gonna have to time it how long it takes me to get drunk. Because then I'll just start.
Look, I can't carry 50 pounds of daggone beef jerky or deer jerky and all that stuff on the plane.
Yeah, Kimberly, speaking of
And then they'll be
YouTube,
saying, "What is all this for?" It's the sedative.
yeah, Kim, speaking of YouTube, that's what's going to
I'll
happen.
be right back.
Everybody is going to be really surprised when they're on the plane. They sit down and they, just get taken off, and they're just like, "Oh, hey, Jared's alive," and they go and they pop in there, and I'm like, "Hey, everybody, here I am, flying the plane."
And I'm gonna be like, "Final destination, get off the plane." I'll be right back.
What'll be funny is trying to watch everybody load me and Amy into a crate because we've been sanitized.
The next thing you see, I'll be saying, "Hey, why's everybody jumping out the windows for?"
Because you're flying, you creep.
I like to see them people trying to jump out them little bitty windows on the plane.
You get desperate enough.
Yeah, you ain't seen nobody with me driving either.
And each one of those little windows that's on the plane, they have a little hole in each one of them.
For air pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like planes, but I know something about some of them.
Like I said, in your dreams, Jared.
And see, they sell the little bottles of alcohol, but they are expensive.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people.
I still have mine back here behind me that me and Slim got from flying to Texas. He drank his. I haven't drank mine.
I've heard people say they're real expensive.
Yeah, we got them free, though, because they said Merry Christmas. Here's that.
Ah.
In June? Amy is going to be drunk saying, "No más pantalones."
Ah.
She's going to take off her pants?
I would
I
not
can't
want to
have that
drive in
live
New
stream.
York. That's for sure.
You're not driving.
I am driving the plane.
Well, it ain't going to be my plane. Because I ain't going to be on a plane.
You won't know it till we're already taking off.
Twinkie's
I won't
gonna be
know it
singing
at all. I'll be
that.
out.
Twinkie's gonna be singing
I'll
that
be-
country song. I'm getting drunk on a plane.
Okay, I know what no mas means. It means no more. But what is pantalones?
Pantalones.
Pantalones?
Pantalones.
It's gonna be Jared when everybody grabs a hold of his legs to try to. No more
Because
pantalones.
there'll be no más pantalones.
Mm.
And we'll be saying, "Somebody spin that propeller faster."
I said, go, Jared.
And then a big bird's going to come by, and then we're going to be saying, "No mas propeller."
How you say propeller in Spanish? Somebody quick. Yeah.
See, for some reason, I can find the bad in everything. Hi, Doris.
Yeah, I'm an extreme pessimist. To the extreme levels.
Yeah.
I look at the bad side of everything. She is going to be so scared, running, swinging her pants in the air. That sounds like a New Year's party.
That sounds like a good
That sounds
time.
like I'm very drunk.
Rob said, "I will never drive through Chicago downtown ever again." Me and Buddy did that, and we almost got killed. Those people are nuts.
Yeah, I've heard that. My sister-in-law won't drive there either. And she also won't drive in Atlanta.
I don't like to drive in Nashville.
See,
Doris.
Propeller. How do you say propeller in Spanish? Propeller in Spanish.
Very funny. I'll just take my chances on driving.
I think in Spanish it's still
Shayna. It might still be.
See, all Twinkie has to do is say, "We're going to get you on a plane," and it turns into a whole show.
I guess it would depend on wind speed.
We still gonna get
Yeah.
you.
In what direction you're flying? If you're face down, it's probably making a whole nother different sound than it is when you're bottom down.
It would probably sound more like a blade of grass between your thumbs.
Okay, Amy, can you find the bad and but yes? Never mind.
Yeah.
Stupid question.
That didn't take a split second.
That did not take that long at all.
Yeah, it's on.
Tonight has been long. Why has tonight been long?
Usually up. Debbie. Well, there's that.
But she's not wrong.
Okay then. Think I'll just take me a drink of this Dr. Pepper.
I needed this tonight. It has been a very long day for me too.
Oh God, I know that feeling all too well.
But he says, "Hey."
I've had one of those days where I have got stressed out so bad that I have literally threw up twice.
Yeah. That's not good.
It's not at all.
It was a different buddy, I promise.
Because we know so many buddies.
My husband says I'm a pessimist. I say I am a realist, and I am into self-preservation and not self-harm.
I say I like me. I don't want to hurt me or kill me. So no planes for me.
It has been a long month, Shayna.
Hang on. I got to see if
Más cerveza, por favor, please.
What is cerveza?
Cerveza is beer.
Oh, I don't drink. So.
No, más cerveza, por favor. Okay, so Kim is another reason why I know this phrase, and because her brother-in-law at that time, he was sitting on the ice chest with the beer, and every time we went to go get a beer, we had to ask him in Spanish to give us a beer. So we learned uno más cerveza, por favor.
Ah.
And I'd have said, yeah, what she said.
So that's how I learned how to speak that. And no, Teresa, it's not soda.
Yeah.
We know when you're drinking soda, you drinking cerveza.
Mm-hmm. We remember y'all at New Year.
And playing Jenga.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play Giant Jenga.
That's what
they were playing Giant Jenga while having very many cervezas.
I just want to be able to yell, Giant Jenga, I win.
We played Giant Jenga. What was his name, Kim? Do you remember? Chubbs? Not Chubbs. Chuck? I don't remember his name. Dang it. Anyway, he asked if we wanted to play Jenga. We went into his garage area, and there was this 2x4s cut down, and he made it into a giant Jenga game. We couldn't even reach where you had to put the ones on the top.
I was wondering about that, but I didn't say nothing.
Yes, I'm short.
That's being nice.
Every time I hear that, I think of Sheldon.
Ha ha, Twinkie. Somebody finally got you.
What?
She made a comment to me today.
I was being a realist too. I was just asking if you could reach the pedals.
At work, they're talking about paying for people to get their CDLs if they, as long as they stay with the company. So I said I would be interested. Like, is they going to be able to reach the pedals?
I was being a realist. I cannot reach the pedals.
There is a truck driver shorter than me that comes in there all the time.
Is he use them block thingies you said you was going to use?
I'm going to get my daddy to build me some blocks to put on the brake and the gas.
So Shayna says she has a lot of spare 2x4s. That would be perfect. Yes, it was fun. Not so much when you're drinking. And Teresa, everybody knows that if they watched the last Twinkie New Year's, because you were on 2 of the shows doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Chup, yes, Bobby Chup. I remember. He was an awesome guy. And his tea, yes, his tea that was stronger than any moonshine you'd ever taste.
And then she laughed and said, Twinkie the truck driver.
Twinkie the truck driver. It has a nice ring to it.
Yeah. I'm sure you meant it that way.
I have to drive a huge tow mower sometimes that I can't reach the pedals on. I have to sit on the edge of the seats. I can see Twinkie doing that.
I drive a forklift all the time.
Do you have to sit on the edge of the seat?
No, I moved the seat all the way up.
Yeah, Twinkie's been trying to get a charades deal going for a while.
What you talking about?
Laura said we need to get together and play charades.
Oh, yes.
Twinkie's been trying to do that for a bit now.
And it never seems to happen.
And that was not your evil twin, Teresa. I know someone not 5'2", but gets stuck in the snow. Hey, now.
Wait. Whoa. That's both of us.
Who you be talking about?
You don't know nobody 5'2", because we 5'1" 3/4.
We used to have truck pulls at the fair. Lots of little women pulling those big semis. 80s night charades. Twinkie, what are you crunching?
Okay. My loud youngin was in here talking about winning a game of some sort, and I didn't understand it. He was being real loud about it. And now I have to pee, so I'll be right back.
He was excited, and I was so confused.
Oh, yes, not us, Bama. That doesn't sound like anything me and Twinkie's ever done before.
No.
It's all the way up. It's a 6-cylinder tire motor with 8-foot forks. Whoa.
I'll be right back.
I'll go one of them, too.
And Lori's not much taller than us.
Mm-mm.
Love you too, Teresa. Have a good night at work. Or as good of a night as you can.
Good to see you again.
Good night, Kim. Love ya.
Now, fam, love y'all bunches.
It is always good to see Teresa. Her and Lori, bless their hearts, they work all the time while we're live. But just so they know, we'll never forget them.
Ever.
Are you getting a pickle?
No, ma'am.
What are you eating?
I'm eating salsa con queso.
Con carne?
Uh-huh.
That's the chips I'm hearing.
Nah.
I know someone that can get lost in a dust devil cough. Amy, cough, cough. Hush it, Mystic.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Everything go okay?
came out
Oh,
just
my
fine.
God.
Thanks for asking.
Now I took one crowbar.
Hey, look, my pop works just fine.
We used to jump off the roof into snow, laugh out loud. My sister and I had to be pulled out. No, thank you.
I didn't say they were shoes, Rob. I'm trying to crunch quietly.
Better?
But I guess if I can hear myself crunching, I know y'all can hear me.
I can, and I've been trying to ignore it, but
It don't bother me.
it bothers me.
Love you, Teresa.
Love you, girl.
Bama. Bama, Bama, Bama. You're going to be vertically challenged here in a minute.
Hey, look, I'm only partially vertically challenged.
Laura's taller than we are.
I am 5'6" with my shoes on.
Good night, cute goth girl.
Good night,
Love and
cute.
hugs.
Night, Cindy. Love you bunches, fam.
That's Sydney.
Yes, Kim's going too. And so for a lot of you that don't know, me and Kim have been friends for a very, very long time. I was 17 when I met Kim, and we became really good friends. And now her daughter, her oldest daughter, is married to my brother. So she is my sister-in-law's mom.
That's cool.
And didn't you used to babysit? your
Yes, I
sister-in-law?
used to babysit my sister-in-law. She is 10, 11 years younger than my brother.
Savannah's a trip.
Mm-hmm.
April, what are you
Savannah is a
eating?
trip. Salsa, con carne, or whatever it is, and chips.
Salsa con carne?
Yeah, Tony.
I'm trying to be quiet.
I thought she was trying to get a pickle out.
He's like, I'm trying to be quiet.
Twinkie doing crunch MSR.
I thought she was mushing up crackers to put in chili.
Nope, I wish I had some chili.
we
I'm going to
had,
make some tater
we
soup.
had chicken pot pie tonight, and it was so good. Even though it was so hot outside, we just turned the AC down and chowed down.
I had a DiGiorno thin crust pepperoni pizza.
Yum. I love DiGiorno. It's my favorite.
ASMR.
Hey, look.
I had a McDouble. I had a McDouble.
Whenever I do videos, for some reason, I have a lot of crunching and breathing ASMR in my videos. Because I always end up on some real crunchy gravel that just wants to be known. And then I breathe real heavy because I'm a fat girl.
Well, me too. I have that too. And I was Twinkie.
I moved the bag. I was moving the bag.
Straight into the microphone.
Mama, yes.
I was listening to the mansion video, and where we had walked up the stairs, I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to start watching my breathing. And Layne just looks at me and says, and not breathe? I was like, yeah, but like hold the camera away from me when I know I'm going to be breathing hard or something. Because like I could hear it, and I was like, oh, that's driving me crazy. And Layne's like, you're walking upstairs. I was like, it doesn't matter.
But here's the thing. If you try to hold the camera out away from you, your arm gets tired.
Mm-hmm. Or if you try to hold in your breath, you kind of end up doing that thing because you can't hold it no more.
So I've just decided to start putting in, like little what do you call them?
The textiles
service announcements. You're going to be hearing a lot of fat girl breathing in this video. If you don't like that, don't watch because it's in there and I'm not taking it out.
Turn your volume down.
So take out your headphones because you're going to hear it.
Sorry for the wind and the heavy breathing.
And the gravel crunching because that is the biggest thing. All of my videos, for some reason, there's just gravel everywhere. And I'm like, why am I in the gravel? Why are you so loud? I'm trying to be quiet.
Oh, I like those too, Marianne. George got us hooked on the what are they called? It's the purple bag. I can't remember which ones they were, but we can't ever find them anymore.
What?
The Doritos, the purple bag.
The spicy chili?
Yeah, I think that's what they're called.
Good God, girl, come here. They're everywhere.
We have them here too. You could probably get them at Walmart.com.
Well, we can find them here every now and then, but like everybody buys them out as soon as they stock them.
Order them online.
I think George got everyone in this town hooked on them. They start ordering everything online. I hate going to the stores here. I had mac and cheese with bacon the other night.
I want to make some homemade potato soup.
I'm gonna
We
have
had
video
that the other
tomorrow.
night, Twinkie.
I'm gonna have me some Orange
But I
cookies.
had my daddy's recipe and I got Logan's recipe. Logan's
I
recipe.
got my mama's recipe,
I got my daddy's recipe.
For what? What?
potato soup.
Potato soup.
Oh, I don't like tater soup.
I love it.
I
Well,
love it.
I love it every now and then. I can't have it a lot, but every now and then I like eating it.
Look,
I do not like
daddy's
it.
will knock the cold out of you real quick.
Uh-huh.
I don't like it
Why?
because it tastes gross.
What we got left?
Tater
You
soup.
ain't tasted Twinkies or mine.
I don't like it. And I've had a lot of different kinds, and I still don't like it. It's I just. Whew.
Lord.
She can't even discuss it.
Oh,
It's so
calm
bad.
down.
I can't talk about it. I can't.
We noticed.
I need a drink.
Bama, you had a good meal there. Fried chicken, lima beans, corn, and rice with gravy.
Bama, hush your mouth. You making me hungry.
You know, Shayna, that twisted tea is actually pretty good.
Hey,
Especially
Twinkie,
if you want to hit somebody.
Yes.
I think I'm making egg rolls tomorrow.
Yum.
Hey, now we're talking about the egg rolls because I can't have none.
Look, when we went to Colorado, how many did I make? What, 60 some of them, Twinkie?
Something like that.
And they all got gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I
Lord.
didn't get none then neither.
Really and truly, though, I love that one, that recipe, because it's more meatier than the other ones.
Georgie said mine are the only ones he likes.
I didn't know you
Oh.
didn't know you're leaning in.
Spousal abuse. I just got punched in the forehead.
But Laura, you wouldn't eat them
Why?
because I put ground pork in them.
Yep. Never mind.
But it's like hamburger meat. It's not.
I don't. Nope.
Twinkie,
Unless
can
you
you
wanna
even
make me
taste
some
it
with
like
chicken
it's
in it?
pork?
No, you can't. The sauce that you put in them and stuff is really good.
Yeah.
I've made them several
have to try
times,
it,
but
Laura.
I don't like making them, so I'd rather have Twinkie make them
I don't like pork.
because they're a pain in the butt. They really are. They're not that hard, but they are hard. And when you make that many of them,
Laura, if I
stinks.
make it, will you try it?
If I don't like it, are you going to be mad?
No.
Because I don't like pork.
No, I would not be mad. Then you could just give it to Jared because he'd probably eat it then if you didn't like it.
Does it have cabbage in it?
Yes.
He
Oh,
won't eat
that's
it. He don't like
thanks,
cabbage.
Marianne. Well, you can't taste the cabbage in it
You
though,
can't
because
taste cabbage either
Yeah, no.
I tried though.
because I put sauce in it and stuff. It tastes really good.
What kind
I
of
never
sauce?
tried it either, Marianne, until Danny gave me one, and it's actually really good.
What?
The twisted tea.
Oh, I like those too.
I don't partake of the alcoholic beverages.
Well, I partake some, especially when I'm very stressed. But New Year's we partake a lot. So
Yes.
apologies in advance.
Yeah, this will be Laura and Jared's first.
Yeah, this will be their
New
first
Year's.
Twinkies New Year.
Yay.
And it's fun. It's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of laughs. It's very loud. And there's a lot of going to different channels and stuff, but it's a blast, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Well, I will partake of extreme monsters
There you go.
because I don't drink. So.
Well, just know every time we take a lot of cheers shots, so get you a shot glass to pour your Munster in to take.
Bazinga.
Yeah, we ain't doing bazinga. Oh heck no!
Slim killed me with that bazinga.
Oh my lord! Even
Can
Omar
I
made
just
us
take a big
with
drink from the
bazinga.
can?
Yeah, he even had Omar saying it, didn't he?
Yeah, Omar came into the chat and was saying Happy New Year and all that, and then we were talking to the chat about how when they said bazinga, we had to drink, and then Omar comes on there, bazinga.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law has a T-shirt that says Bazinga. We
Bazinga.
got it for her because she loves shelling.
No, I will not, buddy. No, I will not.
She
That
did
was-
not end up in the floor last year.
That was 2 years ago, and I slipped. I was trying to pick something up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And she leaned on the refrigerator to gather her thoughts.
Yes.
Shayna, I don't drink anymore because I used to be a raging alcoholic. And I quit.
I used to be a very bad alcoholic as well. Now I'm able to control it. So if I ever get to the point to where I'm wanting it all the time or anything again or anything like that, then I will quit. But I don't do it enough now to. And the only time I drink to get drunk is on New Year's. But any other time, I just drink just because I don't drink to get drunk.
Sociably.
Yeah,
I was the same
I've
way.
learned how to do it sociably, but it's very hard.
Yeah, I was the same way. The last time I got drunk years and years and years ago, and I was dancing a jig on top of a cop car,
Mm-hmm.
and I was doing a good job till they caught my ankle.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
daggone
I was
ankle will get you
drinking
every time.
day, all day long, all night long. Start as soon as I got up the next day, and I just got to a point where it's like, why am I doing this, and what is the reason? So I quit. I ain't picked it up since.
Yeah, and see now social drinking and stuff now, I just do it every now and then. But then I wanted it every day. Weekends come around, I could go through a case and nothing, and then still want more. Calling people at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, hey, come party. You know, all my friends that were already grown up, saying no, we're asleep. You know, it got really bad there for the longest time, and I decided my family was more important, and I stopped. But then I was able to, you know, drink sociably and control it. But I've always told Cody and myself, you know, if I ever feel like or look like I'm starting to get back in that routine, which is odd because now I serve alcohol, but I don't ever want to go back to that time in my life.
Yeah, that's where I was. See, when I was drinking, I didn't drink to get a good buzz, just relax, enjoy myself. I drank to get drunk, and my choice was liquor. And it was like you said, it was every day. And then too, when I started, I wanted to party. I wanted to blow the roof off of everything. I was ready to party.
See, I've never been like that. Thank God.
Yeah, I think I'm bad now. Woo.
Shayna said, I do have the stopping part, but I usually pass out before I reach it, laugh out loud.
Well, I felt like just my own personal well-being, it was just better if I just quit and didn't touch it again.
And that's good.
So, and I haven't drank in how long?
That's why we never want to pressure anybody to drink.
Oh no. We do the Twinkies New Year's. Me and Twinkies done this this will be our 5th year doing it, and we do it just to have fun and cut loose. And we try to keep. I know we discuss certain things on our channels and stuff, but we try to keep our channels as not necessarily as professional as possible, but on this side of the gutter as much as we can.
We're still inside the basement.
Yes. But on New Year's, we still have fun on New Year's. We drink, we cut up, have fun, but we still don't get that far out there. We do get drunk, but it's definitely not.
We laugh more than we do anything.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
And we still talk like this.
That I don't want to be around anybody that does have alcohol. That's everybody's own personal.
Yeah.
Thing, I ain't gonna be mad at nobody for drinking,
And you'll see.
That was me quitting was my choice.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Jen,
and
what's up?
A lot of people in the chat drink with us. I know Doris got plastered last year.
Yeah.
Her and Cody had that's how the whole howdy thing happened.
Well, I'm hoping this year to get him to holler duty.
Hi, Jan.
Hey, Jan.
Hi, Jan.
Jan, my epic sister.
Jan, did you lose your password to your other account again? Because you're not a mod on this one.
Bless her.
Yeah, it'll be New Year's Day there. Vodka. Yes, it was y'all's thing, Doris. Every 2 seconds, Doris would put howdy in the chat and Cody yell, howdy.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of me staring Cody down in that one.
I think I gotta work New Year's Eve, but I get off at 7. So I don't have to work the next day. Thank God.
And you know what's so crazy is Layne and Casey both are 21 this year.
I know.
But Layne
boy.
doesn't really like alcohol. She's tried a couple of drinks, and she usually takes one drink out of it and hands it to us. She does not want it.
Casey's the same way. She turned 21. She
Yeah.
drank a little bit, but she don't.
And I'm very thankful for that.
Me too. She's got a thing underneath her bed that she got for her birthday from her friend. It's the 21 shot bottles. There's only one gone out of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And her birthday was in February.
Casey was able to be on there last year with us, and she only drank a couple of drinks, and then she left.
Yeah.
She was done with it.
I remember once back a long time ago, I was drinking some kind of it was some kind of beer, and Angus was like, I can't remember how old he was. He was like maybe 13, 14, something like that. And I had set my beer down, and I went and I had a truck at the time, and I opened the door and I leaned down to get something, and Angus picked my beer up. And by the time I turned around, he turned it up. I said, no, like it. He spit it out and started gagging. He said, Daddy, it's sour, it's nasty, it's gone bad.
Yeah. Many a times my kids tried that, and they found out real quick they did not like it. Okay, I'm getting a margarita, all this talk, and I'm sober.
Yeah.
I love margaritas.
Well, I had one in Texas, but Amy said it wasn't the real.
No, that wasn't a good one. No. And I don't know if I want to get you one from Gator Express because you may not be able to finish that. Yeah, I had one of the ladies called me over at work the other day, and she said, did y'all give me an extra shot in my drink for being y'all's friend? And I said, nope, you had the regular drink. She said, I was on the phone with my daughter. She said, I was about halfway through it. She said, I think they roofied me.
Yeah, Lord.
I said, no, we didn't roofie you, I promise. I react to sulfites in wine. One sip, I throw up for 3 days. Oh, that's not good, Nicole. Howdy.
Yeah, I think somebody give me a roof job. Lord.
But those drinks are very strong. They're 14 to 17% alcohol, and they're wine based, so they're just a tad bit strong.
Just a tad.
Just a tad. Like I can drink several margaritas if I'm making them at home or whatever, but I can drink 120-ounce of those and I can feel it.
I remember the first time I ever drank moonshine. I was sitting at the house and I contemplated on drinking it because I had never drunk it before, and I tried it. And God, it was smooth till you swallowed, and it was like,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God, well, I didn't feel anything, so I went back, I got another sip, big old swig, same thing, but nothing. So I went back a third time, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna take a big old sip of this, I got a big old sip, and I thought, hey, this ain't even no good. And I went down, sat down, the TV got up and walked off.
Well, golly.
Now we had some really good apple pie while later, and it had the apples and all that stuff in it. And me and the girl Tammy, we drank the whole quart. We was gone. Cameron was driving us around in a golf cart. Yeah. And every 5 minutes, I was like, Cameron, stop, because we were at a campground. I was like, Cameron, stop at that bathroom. 5 minutes later, Cameron, stop at that bathroom. He's like, good Lord, Mom, I'm spending more time at the bathrooms than I am anyway.
Yeah.
That still runs straight through you.
I think I'm gonna do the margarita moonshine in the beer again this year because that stuff was so good.
I'm debating. I don't know what to do yet.
I'm doing monsters.
I don't want to do white liquor again,
No, white liquor's just nasty.
especially plain.
Hmm I don't. I've had many a times just white liquor, and I have some friends that still make it, but I do not get it because I don't. It's.
Yeah, if I could get some more
I need
apple pie,
flavor.
if I can get
Yeah.
apple pie, I can do that.
I'll have to send you some apple pie ones.
Yeah, I need some apple pie.
But the margarita, that was just that stuff was so good.
But see, the apple pie that you can buy in the stores here, it just ain't no good.
Yeah. Did you like the one from Old Smokies?
Yeah.
Does any of your liquor stores carry Old Smokies?
Mm-mm.
None of ours did either. Cody's got 3 of them carrying it now.
Yeah.
I like the Sex in the Creek too. It was pretty good.
Yeah, the Sex in the Creek is really good, but I don't know about drinking that
I
and
ain't a fan
mixing
of
it with other stuff.
I never was a fan of that. It always froze my booty cheeks together.
Sex in the Creek is actually called Some Beach, but it's like Sex on the Beach, but because in Tennessee you don't have a beach, you have creeks, so now it's called Sex in the Creek.
Well, you know, you have sex at the creek, you're going to get a few pebbles in your butt.
Or a crawdad.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Woo! I think
that
I'm
would
gonna have a rock.
that would not feel good.
I was just thinking something I can't say.
Oh.
What?
Good night, Debbie. Love you.
Well, I was too, April, but you know, this is family friendly.
Don't get the fat hole.
I didn't say it.
Oh yeah, Bama, I like Black Russian. So we just got in the White Russian. I've never had one of those, but we've got the frozen White Russian up there now.
I bet you Dolly's thinking the same thing I was.
Oh, Lord.
I found a one called Barefoot. It was good.
Good night, Debbie.
Yeah, Barefoot.
Good night,
Yeah, Debbie, love you bunches.
Debbie's amazing. But by the third live stream, which will be George's usually, we're all sappy and telling each other how much we love each other, and
Yeah.
We do that all day, but we say it with a different inflection.
Yes,
Yes.
FFL,
Or if you go with April's, it's FFF.
FFFFF,
4F. The 4F.
F to the 4th power.
Yeah.
We made a big self-serve of Sex on the Beach for my daughter's O's theme 21st.
What is O's themed?
I don't
Hey,
know.
Jungle Juice would be pretty good.
Oh, 80s themed 21st.
Y'all ever had Hunch Punch?
Had what?
Hunch Punch.
Oh, Lord.
What is that?
Okay, so here in Tennessee, what you do is you get your big cooler and you make sure that it's plugged shut. You clean it out real good, dump a bunch of ice in there. Then you take
All kinds of different liquors.
fruit punch or like Hawaiian punch, something like that. And you pour all kinds of different liquor in there.
Put
And
fruit.
then everybody gets a straw and leans down in and drinks as much of it as they can.
We call that jungle juice or trash can punch.
Yeah, we got Jungle Juice.
Well, we call it hunch punch because when you're done, you usually hunched up somewhere puking.
Yeah, I usually try to stay away from all that because I would be in a corner puking.
You'd be hunching the punch.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole, it's usually
So
21.
slow, comfy, screw up against the what, Jan?
Well, wait.
Jan, did you get auto-corrected, Jan? She said, I like those slow, comfy, screw up against the wall. They are good. Jan, is
Jan,
it
I
getting,
think
is
you're
it getting
either
warm in your
legal
house,
age
Jan?
She's
What
in
is
the
the legal
wrong
age
chat.
there for drinking here? Here, Nicole, the legal age for drinking here is 21.
Yeah.
Where
Even
are you at,
smoking
Nicole?
here is 21.
Everything is 21.
Yeah. It used to be 18 for smoking. Now it's 21.
Yep.
And all of mine are 21 and above.
Yeah. Mine too
Well,
now.
I got one that's fixing to turn 18. That's it. Well, Jim will be 16 in February.
Vodka said those are good.
Like I said, those are good, Jan. Am I missing? Okay, what are those? I want one.
Well,
Jan, Nicole said, I remember those.
I'm gonna just have to put it out there like that.
Jan said it's a drink.
Well, when you're fluffy, you don't get those.
Well, I never heard of it, Jan. I thought you was just getting nasty.
I thought you was getting a little heated there for a sec.
I know, right?
And I'm never had one because I'm too fluffy.
He's a drink. That is very good to know, Jan.
Okay, Jan, what is the drink called? Because surely to God, it can't be slow, comfy, screw up against the wall.
Maybe it is. Hold on.
But we are all now thinking about it. So there's that.
Okay, I'm asking Siri. Let's see. Let me
You're about
find
to
it.
get all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I am.
Now, a Singapore
You are
sling
nasty.
is good. I want to get stuff and make some of that, and I can drink that stuff. You know what? I might do that.
Okay. What's in a slow, comfy, screw up against the wall drink?
We're about to hear all.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Okay. It caught every bit of it because it says the whole thing I said, but
It is called that. Google it, Shayna said.
okay. What's in a slow, comfy, screw up against the wall drink?
Emma said I was about to say I prefer a bed.
Jan said it's a dang slam dunk.
What's in a screw up against the wall?
It's a dang slam dunk.
Okay, a long, slow, comfortable screw against the wall drink recipe. I would not be ordering that drink in a bar.
Not at all, because you'd have all kinds of dudes saying, I'll give her that.
So it's vodka, slow gin, Southern Comfort, Galliano, and orange juice.
Yeah. I don't. Orange juice gives me heartburn.
Orange juice gives me heartburn as well, but I love a tequila sunrise.
I like some deep.
Me too.
Tequila will tequila you.
Tequila is my drink.
Mm-mm.
I love
I got
tequila.
messed up one night, and I drank half a fifth and then ate the worm.
Yum. I bet you was feeling that.
Oh my God, I was praying that the world would stop spinning.
I drank a whole bottle of Two Fingers tequila one night.
Oh,
Whew.
I
And
just
I'm not
can't
talking
do
about one of
tequila
the
no
lures
more.
either. I'm talking about the big top shelf Two Fingers.
Shayna says she's going to order it now just to see their face. Yeah,
I
it's
see you
tequila
order that
sunrise.
at a bar to see Danny's expression.
Oh,
Yeah.
you might get upset.
Yeah, don't tell Danny and then film when you order
Oh, but
so we can
Jan,
see his face.
dang, girl.
My back hurts to have
Too bad to have
sex.
sex.
Well,
Well, there you go, Jan.
alrighty then.
You got to try a what did I just say it was called? A Singapore sling.
Singapore sling.
It's good.
Excuse me.
Crown Royal Black with Pepsi. Now, I like Crown Royal every now and then, but I used to only buy it for the bag.
Yeah.
I used to have like 1,000 of them things.
I used to have a bunch of bags. I had like a ton of shot glasses from all kinds of different liquors.
And now he's just got the one bag.
Well, I'm using my San
What do you
Antonio shot glass this year, but don't mess with Texas one. My old smoky one got broke.
I used to drink Flaming Dr. Peppers.
I love Flaming Dr. Peppers. They're good.
The ones I love drinking straight was I had two, Jägermeister and Jack Daniel's Fireball.
I
Jaeger
can't
was
drink
my,
Jack Daniels at all.
Jaeger was my drink. Oh my God, I loved it so much.
I used to love Jägermeister until I did a bunch of them Jaeger bombs.
Oh.
And I didn't know what it was because I couldn't taste the alcohol in it. So I just kept drinking them. And I was at my husband's company party, and his boss kept bringing them to us and giving them to us. Well, Cody had to go do something. By the time he come back, I was drunker than crap, laid out on a flatbed trailer, yelling at Cody to bring me another one.
Yeah.
Bring me another one.
I was so wasted. And then I got sick. And so now,
it's definitely better going down than it is coming
yes.
up.
So now smelling it really gets me. But I will never touch Everclear again. Me and Kim, the one that was in here, we were just sitting there one day, and some people come over and were like, let's play quarters. She had the best quarters table because it was a marble coffee table that was big.
Ah.
And so we wanted to play quarters. We didn't have anything. We had a big gallon jug of the Everclear, and we had Big Red.
Oh, I love Big Red.
We mixed all that together, and we were playing quarters with it. I loved Big Red, and I loved Everclear until I puked pink foam for several days after that.
Woo.
Night, Brandy. Love you bunch of sis.
Night, Brandy. Love you.
Oh, I used to drink the Jaeger just straight out of the bottle.
Johnny Walker is good too.
And
Now,
my
I
other,
like Jaeger shots are good, but I will never drink Jaeger bombs again.
my other favorite was
Yeah, I always,
peppermint schnapps.
but you know, oh yeah, the schnapps
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
But you know, I used to like gin, except for that dang pine needle taste.
Mm.
I liked it straight too.
Yeah.
Oh,
I never
I
was
watched this.
one for chasers. I just wanted the alcohol.
Yeah.
Chasers just slowed me down from drinking.
Mm-hmm. I never did do chasers either. Every now and then I would just like take a drink of my beer afterwards or something if it was a nasty shot, like if people bought us a shot and it was nasty. But I watch this guy on YouTube, and it's a son that films his dad, and he's got this really huge cellar that's got nothing but alcohol everywhere, and he teaches you how to make all the different types of drinks and stuff. And he's like really big into like the scotch and bourbon and stuff like that, and he tells you how to drink them without it being like you add a dab of water to one or something like that. But it's cool to see how a lot of these drinks are made that I've never even heard of. But his wine cellar or his alcohol cellar, that thing looks like it's worth millions.
dang.
Okay, Singapore Sling has gin,
Benedictine.
yeah, cherry liqueur,
Mm-hmm.
lime juice, simple syrup, club soda, lemon slice, and a cherry.
Sounds good.
And see, what you're supposed to do is put 2 straws in it, and 2 people drink it till it's gone. And
Yeah.
after about 3 of them, woo,
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Good night, Sandra. Love you.
Sandra.
Night, Sandra. We love you bunch of sister.
See, I'm not real big on the real sweet drinks.
See, I like sweet liquor.
I like more sour. Like I love, like when I drink tequila shots, I do the lime just because I love the sour. And margarita because it's sour. I'm more of a sour drink than I am a.
I like sweet.
I don't
liquor.
like the whiskey sours though. Those are
Happy
nasty.
birthday, Slam.
Slim. Hi,
Happy anniversary,
Slim.
Slim.
Hey, Slim. Long time
Hey,
no see.
Slim.
Good.
Long
Got a
time
A
no
fifth
see.
of whiskey under my seat and a fifth in my refrigerator, plus 2 cases stored on my back porch. I remember those days, Bama. I like sweet and sour in between, laugh out loud. Now, there are some sweet drinks that I do like, but like if I'm drinking and I know I'm going to be drinking for a while, I won't drink a sweet drink.
No, if I start mixing, it's it. It's
Yeah.
the road. Oh.
Now, I know my limitations, like that margarita moonshine mixed well with my beer last year, and then like tequila mixed as well with my beer. But if I start drinking any other kind of stuff, it does not go well. Like Fireball, that kicked my butt when I was drinking that. But if we were drinking Fireball, bourbon, beer, and I can't remember what else that night. And I passed out before I could call Twinkie.
Yeah. I waited and waited, and I finally called Cody, and he said, she done passed out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, a hussy.
Yep, I did. Smooth out. Tequila does not make my clothes come off at all. I like the hard stuff. Code Red Mountain Dew.
He used to drink that Jim Beam junk.
Yeah, Cody used to drink Jim Beam.
Yuck. I can't stand the smell of it.
Yeah. I didn't like it that much either, but Cody used to love it. You can't drink Jaeger, Jan.
Not like Jägermeister. And Amaretto.
The Goldschlager.
Goldschlager.
That I got sicker than crap on that too one night.
I like Ouzo. Ouzo's good.
I don't think I've ever had that.
I'll
It
tell you
tastes like
something I
black
never could
licorice.
stand. I could
Hey,
smell
hey.
of and cry. Oh, go ahead, April.
Tastes just like black licorice.
One thing I never could stand, I could smell of and gag, and that was Kessler.
Woo.
Oh yeah.
What?
Kessler,
I never heard of it.
the whiskey,
It's woo.
the old charcoal whiskey.
It's gut right.
Cheap. Oh.
What, Shayna? Shayna said, oh, strawberry and cream sounds great, but can't do red velvet. I was 15, pregnant, and puking red velvet cake from my first wedding. No more.
No
Yeah.
more. I tell you another one I never could drink. I'd always get sick on. It was kind of real sweet, and that was Canadian Mist.
Oh
What
yeah.
about Canadian
LTD.
LTD?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sugar in it.
No.
Dora said monsters and raspberry vodka.
I know one time we went.
Night Slim.
I know
That's really
everybody
good.
here.
Slim.
If you were around in the 80s or 90s, you had Mad Dog 2020 and
Oh
all
my
Oh
that.
my God. Oh,
Dear Lord, that would make you sicker than a dog. But we went one time. We were looking for something cheap because we were going back road. And we wanted something, so we ended up. They had a sale on Purple Passion, and oh my gosh, oh, that stuff was horrible.
Slim uses that for fish bait.
I don't blame him.
And his dad used to drink Mad Dog.
Boone's Farm, yeah, Strawberry Hill. Strawberry Hill was the only Boone's Farm I could drink.
I still got that whole bottle of stuff up there that I ain't even broke the seal. I bet you I've had it for a year. If you've never broke the seal, will it go bad?
No, it should still be good.
Okay,
Wine
good.
ages.
I've had it for a year and it's a big old bottle too.
Yeah, vodka. Purple Passion make you sick.
No one thing.
What?
It is 11:30 here, so I know it's getting late for a lot of you. So I think we're going to go ahead and let you get off of here as Shayna comes in with slippery nipples.
Oh boy.
You think that close to 30 minutes?
But I appreciate we've been on here for almost 3.5 hours. So I appreciate you guys coming on and spending this time with us. And don't forget to watch out for Twinkie tomorrow night, Entity
Watch out
Paranormal
for me.
Investigators. And then Saturday night will be Jared King TV and Queen Laura TV on whose channel?
Lord.
Mine.
Laura's. Okay, so be watching for Queen Laura TV. Her and Jared will be going live Saturday night.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we love y'all. And we will see you next time.
Bye,
Bye,
y'all.
everyone.
Stay awesome.
Oh, we got to do it.
How we doing today?
Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Thank y'all.
Bye.